Say that very thing you just said.
Hi, stream. How y'all doing? Happy Monday. Look at all the people we somehow convinced to meet at the same time across the globe.
Across the globe.
Yeah.
But no, for real, are we live?
We are live. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is for real now.
We started.
100% real.
We have started. Chat is reacting in real time.
Yes.
It's hard to tell if not at least one person tells me the audio is kind of weird.
Well,
I can't tell if we're live unless someone wants to adjust the volume in some way.
F's in chat, just F's in chat.
Yeah. Well, there's rats, so clearly creatures coming
Clearly
through.
something is going on here.
Yeah.
He's my little friend. He sits on my shoulder. I like him.
We have not returned since our first blind attempt of the Criterion dungeon, and that rat needs to die.
Oh, did you fail to Silky?
Oh yeah.
God, yes.
It was a blind wonder in. We weren't properly prepared.
Yeah, I can hear feedback. Let me mute the mainstream. That's probably
what. Wait, so you've not done any of the new variant dungeon stuff?
We did just enough to unlock Criterion because variant didn't sound that interesting to us.
What?
Remember, this is a collective us, so there are nuances in the statement. There's
nuances, but every time this comes up, chat wants me to explain myself.
I do.
No one likes what I say, so I stop talking.
Okay, Mr. Politician, stand by your opinions.
Don't like something in Final Fantasy 14, people don't have a good time, even though they ask you to explain yourself. So. Yeah, I tend to not go into great detail of things in Final Fantasy 14 that I don't find to be particularly interesting.
I'm just posting things. You take all the time you need. We're getting tweets out. You take
Thanks
some time.
for just leaving me here hanging out with my hot takes.
With
the Inquisition. Many questions for you. Yeah. Do you not like Mythic Plus kind of stuff in WoW? Is that your vibe? If that's the case, then I get it.
I do think Mythic Plus is one of the worst things they ever added to.
Well, all right, never mind. I get it.
Wait, but you said the variants. We gotta get this clear. Do you not like Nanamo? Why do you hate Nanamo?
Because it's the only leader in Final Fantasy 14 that the writers remembers exists, and
I can't believe you had an answer for why you hated a character. I'm shocked.
Yeah, because she should have stayed dead. That's why.
Oh.
Wow.
But you finished Endwalker now, right? We could talk.
Yeah. Except we still have 6.5 and 6.55 to go. That's the only
right. But you saw the payoff with her and Raban, where they'd grown apart, and it was fine.
Very sweet.
It was beautiful. Yeah. What is wrong with you?
Her little feet ran across that roof to him.
I am a Limsa boy. I am a pirate boy, and they don't give me nearly enough time with Merlweb, and they every chance they get,
they changed her voice.
Anonimo out.
Let's put it to the side.
Out. She's coming out again with her little voice, and she's just got something to say, and she's going to take 22 paragraphs to say it. And I'm like, can we just get the lady with the gun? Can the lady with the gun come in and make the scene interesting? I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
I bet you like Canacena, don't you? You like Canacena. You're that guy. No one wants to be that guy.
No, I'll be completely honest. I will. Gridania is last place for the 3 starting zones. So yeah, I mean.
Oh, come on. They get Ida and Papalimo as starter Scions. Yay.
I broke a lot of hearts during the Papalimo scene because I was like, I don't even really know who this guy is. Why is it so sad?
My biggest crime during my playthrough is Horshaphon died. I was like, lol. I couldn't give a shit about that simpy bastard following us around everywhere. He's like, why such a fan? I'm like, oh, please die. Just shut up.
You're a hot chocky hater, aren't you?
Oh, man. And
they keep bringing it back up like I was supposed to care. It's like, oh, you can't visit his tomb. Get out of here.
Wait, what was it, Jesse? Did you read Papalimo like a pimp? Because that worked, right?
Oh, you mean Pimpalimo?
Yeah, Pimpalimo.
Every conversation he has with Yida, he's like, "Shut up, bitch."
Yeah,
and she's like,
"It works.
Boss.
It holds up."
It's hilarious when you think of it that way.
It's real, man. It's real.
Every conversation.
Oh my God,
it's wild.
This is just a show at this point. When I edit this into a podcast, this is just going to to be a cold open.
I demand a tier list now.
I can do that.
Every character.
You
stay a hell away.
You know there's 5 people here, right?
I gotta get screen capture ready. Like
I want discourse. It's the only way to prepare for Dawntrail is to shit on every character.
There we go.
Yeah, it's just
All in the bin.
salted earth. You know, you get it in before you go off on the new MSQ. You know,
Yeah.
Get all your hot takes out of the way. Get it done. It'll be a good time. Yeah.
Wow. I don't know how your media tour went. Was it good?
Oh yeah, okay. We're getting.
It was. Yeah.
What is
for the purposes of anyone who ends up digesting this audio only, I guess I will quick around the table say hi, everybody. This is Garrett speaking. I am here with Kyle. Say hi, Kyle.
Hi.
And we are doing yet another our second ever MMO roundtable with the exact same crew we did post BlizzCon. Preach is here. Okay, Mage is back, and Jesse Cox has agreed to deal with us again.
I'm sorry we had to leave early last time.
Pleasure.
We're being tolerated.
And we're not in the same hot, sweaty room this time.
No,
We're
thank you for
looking
joining
away
us.
from the camera going,
Oh, yeah, it's things move quick. Here's what happened in Kyle and my corner of the internet, where when we were like, we should do another roundtable, we were like, let's do it as close to the media tour embargo as humanly possible, and then we realized that we were breaking embargo by talking to any of you, to even try and get it to happen close to the embargo. And now, even though it's only 2 weeks after embargo, like, it doesn't feel like it's about media tour anymore. It kind of feels like this is just about the imminent launch of Dawntrail.
Mm-hmm. It was a bold thing that you sent us, and we were talking about it. Like, I'm not sure. Did they go on the media tour? Because no one was allowed to tell each other. Like,
well, that's the thing, right? It was like, hey, I don't know what you've done, but if you've done an interesting thing, we want to do a podcast.
I must stress this. At least here in the States, the team in charge of the media tour was like, do not talk about it. Don't hint about it. Don't even discuss it with anyone. And then I think one photo was posted of like a bunch of people at Six Flags, and they were like, no, everyone knows you're here. Meanwhile, this guy over here is like, oh no, I've been kidnapped. Where am I going? So I was like, how is he not being bombarded by? But then
we asked.
Oh.
We were like, I need a reason why I'm not here. And it's going to be, the problem was, in the EU, they put out a thing saying Yoshi P will be in Germany on this night, and they raffled away tickets for people to go. It was absurd. It was like, so Yoshi P is randomly going to be in Germany on this date when all the streamers disappear. It was totally stupid. To be fair, I did convince my entire audience I was not going, and I was mad and upset about the whole thing until I got kidnapped at the end of the stream.
Yeah, but I don't know what they expected, because they also announced the media tour dates in their roadmap as well. It's like the media tour is happening around here, and then all of a sudden everyone's favorite creators who are suddenly not streaming are just gone. Like, what do you expect?
Oh, everybody suspected I was going. You lie. You were so angry about it. So angry. But they did get angry, though. No pictures. Nothing.
Yeah, we streamed on embargo day, and someone in chat was like, hey, compare this to other media events you've been to. Like, what would you like other media events to learn from Square, and what would you like Square to learn from other media events? And I was like, honestly, Square did a great job. My only thing was, please, for the love of God, let us admit we went. Because it's just annoying. Like, everybody knows there's no one is in the dark. Like, so many people were gone at the same time.
Well, I tactically moved to the FF14 category an hour before the embargo. I was like, I should probably start preparing for Dawntrail and leveling maybe Picto or something. Let's go over to the FF14 game category for a while to prepare for this and maybe play Sorcerer and something. Because everyone was just sus all the way down.
Yeah, and your stream title was have a massive announcement as well.
I did ask about that as well, because we did a QR code thing to give a countdown. And we were like, is this okay? They were like, well, it has nothing to do with the media tour in the writing, right? I'm like, no. And I'll just say it's to do with our company. And they were like, yeah, that's okay. I'm like, all right, okay. We can, because we said you wanted some hype for it, but it was hard. We had to sit here. It's like, not only did I go, but I got like an exclusive interview with Yoshi P, and I got chat bubbles confirmed, and everyone knew I'd been. And I'm like, yeah,
Worst kept secret in all of gaming. Like everyone was aware. We just were like, no, you can't talk about it. Sorry. Yeah. Ridiculous, but whatever.
In the nicest way possible, it was the most threatened I've ever felt.
Like, we only got shouted out during the presentation. Did you guys get that? Yeah, obviously, Yoshi P came out and gave a presentation when you were there in the morning.
Yeah, we got a presentation in the morning.
So some people took pictures of the slides to reference later, right? Which were already things announced in the live letter. There was nothing new on them at all. It was things from the live letter. And immediately PR ran around going, put your phone away now. There is no pictures of this allowed. I'm like, come on, man.
Speaking of taking things away, I need confirmation on this. So we were there day one. I was sitting next to Llama Todd and Zeppla. And they had a binder of stuff. And I was like, hey, question, there's a bunch of information in this binder. Can we take this? And the
bastard!
The woman who was there was like, let me ask about that. Zeppela looked at me and was like, you shouldn't have asked. We should have just taken and asked for forgiveness later. And then she's like, no, you cannot take those. And now I was like, hold up.
What?
They just let them have them?
Well, okay. Are they the same binder?
I think one person asked, but as soon as I saw it, I was like, well, that's in the bag. I was
like,
maybe they're the same binder.
Immediately, there was no. I wasn't going to ask anybody.
It's like
I was like, that is definitely coming with me.
You can take a piece of the set. Like, it's got to be.
I just wanted to be like a good guy. I was like, you sure we can't take these?
So bad. And earlier in the day, we saw someone get turned down from taking a drink menu, and we're like, there's no way they're letting us take these binders. There's just no universe.
To be fair, they did say you could take them at ours, but
they did ask,
say that. And they said, yeah, of course you can take them with you. And I was like, awesome, I've got my own professional Yoshi P papers now. I'm official.
Okay. Yep, all right. So probably, I think Kyle's right. I think it's because they were just done with them after they made it to Europe.
Like, you think they brought them with them?
That's maximum copium. I want to let you know.
Yeah.
There's no way they brought binders across the sea.
I mean, I may have touched Preach's binders. Like, he might have the same binder I touched.
Oh yeah,
it says Jesse was here.
Yeah.
Hang on
seriously, on next media tour, let's test it. See what happens. Everybody to pass a message on inside the binder and see if they do ship
the lemon juice and put it in the oven. Yeah,
like a date.
It was rough though. Yeah. I wanted pictures with the content creators, but I was taking pictures on the bus. That was fine. No one said anything about that. They were like, just don't release them until afterwards. Like, that was fine. And we got some pictures at the place.
Yeah.
They were very serious about it though.
Yeah, because we went out with Jesse and Happy and Llama, and we took some photos. We just didn't post them until after embargo dropped.
It's true. It happened. I was
Zeem's birthday was very popular though. A lot of people met up for Zeem's birthday.
There was at one point we ended up at a restaurant with like 15, 16 people. I was like, I don't even know how we're doing this, y'all. This is like, okay. It happened. It was crazy.
I did screw up though. I wore this home because it was so big. I couldn't put it in my case, right? I had a little travel case. So I wore this home and we got a message. I left at 2 a.m. and we got a message at 5 a.m. saying, absolutely nobody wear your Dawntrail hoodie outside of the hotel.
That's because of North America. Did you hear the North America story about the hoodie?
No.
So Kyle and I now we live in the same place. So we were flying out together and we're walking around. And our flight just kept getting delayed. We ended up just going for a walk because we knew we were going to be sitting for a while. We saw somebody we thought was Jason Charles Miller, who later ended up actually we found out was Jason Charles Miller, who was heading out to MomoCon in Atlanta. So he was going the same direction we were over to the East Coast. And then we saw someone else who we saw at the media tour in a Dawntrail hoodie. And then we go on Twitter and we see a tweet from Jason Charles Miller that says, just saw someone in a Dawntrail hoodie, said nice hoodie. They didn't even look up and they just said thanks and kept walking. And then seconds after that tweet went out.
No.
Wasn't about us, but we saw all the pieces. And then seconds after that tweet from Jason Charles Miller came out, we got a email from PR saying, please don't wear your hoodies in public.
We were in the same airport, but we were
as if we were going to be sussed out. Like, if I would imagine if someone, people did see me in Germany and said hi, they absolutely knew why I was there. They were like, oh, you've been to the media tour? I was like, no. And they're like, so why are you in Potsdam, Germany, of all places?
Like, well, have fun. Have fun while you're here.
I was visiting the government buildings or whatever. And I was like, well, see ya. Bye.
Just taking in the culture. That's
What
all
a
you
fine
were doing.
municipality you have here.
Yeah,
Time to
wonderfully
go.
clean streets. I felt like I needed to take time away from the UK to come and visit the streets and go home now.
There was a fan event on though that they advertised.
That's what I'm saying. They told people we were there. Yeah, they told everybody we were there. Like it was, I don't know. I get the need for secrecy, but apparently there was leaks in the past. This is my first media tour, so I kind of get it, I suppose, because they're very protective of the story. Like that zone they gave us had been cleansed. Like that was
Welcome to Dawntrail.
Yeah, welcome. Like to Toral was just 5 people in
Wait,
it. Like,
hold on. I don't think it. It wasn't cleansed. They didn't redact anything. There's just no conflict in Dawntrail. There's no threats. There's going to be no combat. That's what the internet's saying.
Yep.
Like,
and the only
what's there
people
to
there say,
remove?
"Welcome to Toral."
There's clearly no conflict.
Dot.
I did try. I tried to find one NPC they missed. I checked every little corner I could. Nope. They had really gone to town. There was nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm like, what am I supposed to talk about? Nice jingle.
I watched a YouTube video from this content creator with a kind of phallic last name, and they seem to think that they found some allusions to some new story.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Dookie Cockhead. I know him.
Ooh.
That guy sounds like an incredible YouTuber. This is like a really nice guy. Yeah, I literally, that's all I searched for. I too was looking for like any tidbit of information that was like, oh, this is cool. I only found 2 things at the end of the day. 2 things out of an entire day's worth of looking. And I was like, what the hell is going on? So we'll see.
I really love how you all like really made use of your time. I found a little village where the pots were really cute, and there's like an hour footage where I'm just staring at pots like, and I'm looking around, looking at all of these pots, and I also go underwater as well. There's like nothing there, but I was just swimming around for another hour, like underwater, having the best time. And I was like, wait, I should probably, get useful footage of things that people want to see.
Nah. Go do the fates. It's okay.
Just stare at the pots again.
Nah.
That's why I think we were.
Did you
so
guys go to a themed place? Because they took us to an indoor jungle. They served us tacos for lunch.
Absolutely.
It was
Same.
Yeah, apparently it's a big deal because people find the best themed place for the expansion to go and find. It was very weird to think that there was probably FF14 players in the building who didn't know that like Yoshi P and Fox Club were behind this door. Because they had so many security, because it was a public zoo place type, and they had so much security at the door, like no one's getting in that place. I was like, that must be a really weird when you find out the day after or the week after. I was there. God damn it! Like I was 2 meters away, and he's just chilling behind the door. God damn it!
Wait, he not come out like
It was a zoo.
Where was the location of the NA one?
It was like a location, like
it was a place
locationing.
probably
guys
would be
were
a
there,
wedding venue in downtown LA.
It was like the most LA thing ever. It looked like an old warehouse, completely nondescript from outside, and then you enter and you're like, oh, this is weirdly beautiful and hip inside. So, so
like the
it
walls
had
were
like
made of old bed frames, but they were all painted.
Yeah, and then
That's cool.
the ceiling was a giant atrium, and so there were indoor palm trees like flanking all like 3 out of the 4 walls in the main.
But the
room.
outside looked like a nondescript warehouse.
Yes. I mean, it was Little Tokyo, which it's a lot of that. It's a lot of like older buildings.
Did it take you 7 hours again, Jesse, to get there? Like the Exile Con one? Remember when you got there, you're like, dude, taking me longer to get here than it has you.
No, this time I left so early, I was the first person there. So I was standing around in downtown LA by myself outside of a warehouse at like 9 a.m. Like, I wonder where this place is. And then a door opens up behind me, like, I turn around and they're like, welcome. And I'm like, what the hell is happening? So and then I walked in, and the first thing I heard was the music that plays when you're in the main city. And I was like, what is this? Is this music from the game? And they were like, we don't know. And I go, okay. All right.
Yeah, we tried to get a copy of the soundtrack. They were like, I'm like, oh, come on, man, it'll make the video better. Like, nope, nothing, not allowed. Ain't happening.
I'm just gonna go into my settings and turn everything but the music off and record it myself anyway.
I didn't think to do that, dude.
I didn't
That's literally what I did.
Oh, yeah.
Literally what I did.
Yeah.
I didn't think to do that. I realized afterwards my editor was like, "You got the music, right?" I'm like, "Kind of." It's there. It's in this.
No,
Sure.
we were sandwiched between like guide makers, and they were like just working hard. They had their notebooks and just like making 20 videos all at once, and we're just posing, making thumbs ups, like getting our characters together, looking nice.
I was raising my hand like a kid in elementary school, like, "Excuse me, who knows how to play Viper? Because I am so lost."
Did you not have your binder?
The ability names are wrong.
Was your binder helpful? Because all of the abilities were mislabeled in ours.
As if I'm reading the names of these abilities. I was just like, okay, combo 1, 2. These are this expansion has the most ludicrous naming system I've ever seen.
I didn't realize any of what you were saying until I was editing the video together, and I was like, okay, so maybe I could use some of the instructions to explain better how Viper works. And as I'm reading through what it says the abilities are, I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Really, if it just says this in the name, it does that ability. And then I went to go look at the abilities, like, none of these are the names of the abilities.
Nope.
I was like, well, good thing I never used that, because I would be so confused.
There's like, can you pronounce the name of the dungeon? The dungeon name is absurd.
Oh, I didn't even try.
I'm almost on it. We got Tuliolol, we got Tural, we got Urkapacha. I'm trying to think of the other place, and the dungeon name, I don't even remember.
That's Kazama Uka.
Kazama Uka, yep, that's one of them.
The dungeon is Ahuka Katsumu.
Sounds right.
Sweet.
We're gonna go with that.
Yeah.
It's funny on the first page though. It says the dungeon you can try is called working title Jungle Cruise, and then we're still working on the name. And then the very next pages, and the dungeon is called. I'm like, well, I've changed quickly. We managed to figure it out by the second piece of paper. That's fantastic.
We've all been there. We've all been at the 11th hour. Like, oh, we planned this so great, and then like 20 things change. Like 2 hours before you're supposed to ship the thing. And you're just like,
that's what I asked Jesse. I assume you had the different embargo because you were doing an interview, but did yours say, because mine was really chill up until an hour before I had to do my interview, because my embargo said I wasn't allowed to ask Yoshi P about anything that wasn't specifically in the demo we played.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm the cause of that. I think
I hate you then. I hate you so much.
I think that he like spent the whole day answering valid questions, and I rolled in and I asked so many ludicrous questions, and only to get him to laugh. My whole objective was to make the man laugh. I did not care about anything else. And I was like, how can I land some good goofs? That was it. So I'm pretty sure they were like, okay, we need to have real questions next time.
It felt really bad because we had a ton of
you.
journalists there, and they were like, we don't really know what to say. And then I was sat at the table like 40 minutes before my interview. And I'm thinking, I don't want to ask about anything here, really. I want to ask about other stuff like I've done with Ian and with the creators of like other games.
Yeah.
And the guy in charge core is like, you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm just manipulating all my questions so they sound like the demo, but they're nothing to do with the demo. And he's like, why? And I'm like, because your embargo says I can't ask about anything. It was really big, bold letters.
Interesting.
Do not ask about anything outside of the demo you've played. And I was like,
whoa.
I don't really care about the waterfall. No, they're even good. They're like, Yoshi P's senior interviews. He's excited for it. You can ask whatever the hell you want. I'm like, you're telling me now? I've been here for like 7 hours. You're telling me now the interviews in like 20 minutes. I'm like, God damn it. And they're like, yeah, we just don't want people asking about like trades and stock value or like Squeenix finance, non-relevant information and shit like that. I'm like, why the hell would I ask about that? It's like, we know you won't ask about that. Ask whatever the hell you want to talk about. I'm like, oh, thank God. Like, so good. But can you imagine going in there? It's like, finally, I can sit down with you. So, where do you see the financial future of CBU3 in 5 years' time? Let's talk about that. Like, I was like, okay, yeah, that's not what we're talking about.
Listen, Yoshi P, I know you only work on this game, but why did you sell the Tomb Raider studio? Could you elaborate on that?
Oh yeah, or like Final Fantasy 17, or something like that. Is like, questions along that nature. And I was like, oh yeah, I don't care about any of that stuff. And they're like, yeah, you're fine, you're good. He's looking forward to it. I was like, hey, all right.
That's another reason I love the Final Fantasy 14 community, because back when I was doing primarily Blizzard stuff, like people would get so mad when you wouldn't ask questions that you would just never get an answer to.
No fluff, hard-hitting questions only.
Yeah. It's like if you're not like verbally assaulting the developer you got to sit down in front of, like the audience I felt like the audience was disappointed, but the 14 audience just so stoked.
Well, my first interview with Ian, people were posting on Reddit pictures of a boxing match. I'm like, what do you think is going to happen here? Do you think we're going to war? Like, you're going to sit down. It's like, Ian, fucking suck. Why did you do this? This fucking Tall Guys fucking sucks and I fucking hate it. Like, is that how I speak? Would I ever talk that way? Like, what do you think's going to happen here exactly? Like, it's going to be a war. Really weird. But I'm glad you didn't have that because I was stressed out about that. I was really stressing out. I was like, I don't know how to about any of this stuff.
But also, was your room, what's the nicest way to put this? Was your room designed for filming in? Because our room was a giant open air, like fan noise. It was crazy. There were fans going. There was cars outside. I was like, yeah, we'll try to make this audio work, I guess. We'll see what we can do. It was rough.
You're not going to like it. You're not going to like my answer. Yes, but they changed the whole room around for my interview. Like they did it while me and Yoshi P was stood there talking. Is they rearranged the whole room to make it like my other interviews. Because they came and asked me earlier in the day. It's like, we really want this to be like you've done with everybody else. So do you mind if we change the room so that you and Yoshi P are like sat close to each other and it's more one-on-one? I'm like, absolutely. That's how I thought. That's how I thought we would be doing it. And they're like, no, we've got it set out differently because most people are just doing audio. Because I was the only one that got filmed, I think. Everybody else was pure audio. All the journalists and stuff were audio. And then, because the camera only, as far as I know, I'm the only one who got filmed. So I got really lucky there because they changed all the couches around while we were sat there and moved them around.
Were they in control of the recording, or did you have to bring your own equipment?
They were. I asked if we should have brought ours. I still wish I had because only when I was there, they came up to me and went, Mike, so like they were, I just want to be clear, this team was awesome. They did everything to make it work, but they're like, we only have 2 labs. They only have 2 labs. And I'm like, okay, we can't not mic Yoshi P because that would be insane. And we can't not mic up the translation into English of what Yoshi P is saying, which leaves me without a microphone. So I was like, have you got a shotgun or something? And they were like, no. So my audio, which you'll hear in the interview, came from my phone, which was sat next to me.
Yours sounded pretty good.
It was the only solution. I thought I could do my audio in post if I have to, so I'll cut out me asking the questions and I can say, oh, and I asked Yoshi P about this. Like, I could solve that. So we'll do that and record it on the phone. But it came out crystal clear. Besides the fact you could hear all the birds flying around because we were in a big, like, aviary. So there was birds flying over us while we were talking and stuff. But beyond that, it came out perfectly. But they really moved heaven and earth to make it as far as I know and what I was told, and it might have been honey dicking me, I don't know. It's like Yoshi P wanted it to be like the other interviews I've done. They were like, he wants it to be like that. And like I said, he was excited for it. So I got really lucky.
What does honey dicking mean?
I love the idea that they were like, we'll just get Pritch all honey dicked up. He's gonna come in here, think he's hot shit, ask some stupid questions. Yoshi P gonna get out of here. Oh man, what a dummy! I love that as a premise. I don't care what anyone says. That's hilarious.
I thought everybody had an interview until I got there. I thought literally everybody was getting an interview, or at least most people.
Similar thing. I had like a 4-page document of like discussions, questions that I was going to narrow down, and like I really researched it. And then I got there, and I was like, oh wait. Because I'm like new to this whole kind of thing. I know what to do now, but I also didn't know what to expect. And it was only when you know, people started talking about maybe having an interview time that I was like, huh. So then I spoke to some people who did have interviews and we went through like questions because I think they got told that they were going to get an interview like 15 minutes before they actually had the interview. So they were stressing. So I was like, well, if it helps, I've got this like 4-page document. They were like, thank you.
No.
So it worked out.
Yeah, it worked out really well. It was a really nice day. It was a long day though, really long. It was
they
like
were aware
10
of
hours
it.
or something. Yeah. It was like 10 hours until we had dinner at the end. But yeah, it was better treated than I've been in most places. Like it was pretty top tier. The whole thing was surprisingly good. It was just very secret because Annie was there, and me and Annie had been talking like the day before. No one would tell each other they were going. So we walked up to the bar. I'm like, God damn it. She's like, oh, I didn't know you were going. But other people had kind of briefed it as like, so are you you fancy going to Europe in June? Okay, I guess so. Well, maybe it'll be a nice time. I'm like, maybe. Who should we see while we're there? I'm like, I don't know. We'll see someone. But yeah, I'm more free than I thought, because usually Blizzard does this as well. They give you the games room upstairs where you can play all day if you want to, and do stuff. But I was surprised that they gave us that long to just goof around and do whatever the hell you wanted to do. They didn't give us direction. You know, the big question, and I don't know if you guys got this. Yoshi P really, I felt we were only actually invited to answer one question. They didn't care whether you liked the demo. They didn't care if you liked the music. It's already done. Is that login screen too bright?
Yeah.
Because they stressed that so hard in the presentation. They were like, by the way, while you're all here, is the login screen too white? Because Western people hate the login screen. And then they came around and did like a poll of people there. It's like, okay, having fun? Great. That's awesome. What do you think of the login screen? Like, is it too bright? And I was like, you know what? For those who live in caves, yeah, it is too bright a little bit. Because a lot of gamers play
at
dark.
The start.
Yeah.
I think the loading screen itself is fine, but it's the white flash just before that might be the issue.
Yeah, they do a lot of that in like the cutscenes in 14 as well. But the fact that this is on the screen you see every time you boot up the game, yeah. I think the menu screen itself is like gorgeous. I don't want them to change a damn thing about it. I think it looks really nice. But the dip to white right before is...
In a well-lit room, it's fine. But then I thought, wait a minute, I've seen a lot of my viewers' PC setups, and they are so degenerate. There's no windows, there's no sunlight, there's nothing. I was like, yeah, it probably is too bright for those guys. Because we play life on dark mode. This is really bright.
But you're not wrong. Like, after a full day with the game, you know, you got your hands on it, you got opinions brewing in your head. Yoshi P comes out for the secondary group interview, and he's like, okay, what'd you think about it? Was it too bright? We didn't get that. No, you didn't have a secondary like little group thing.
Whoa!
NA bias.
We had a whole thing.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yes.
We were front row. Did you? No, we didn't.
Yeah. Don't you dare touch those. But any questions for Yoshi P while you're here?
No, I don't think. No, go on.
Our run of schedule or run of show was like, Yoshida comes out, does a whole like, hey, this is what it's gonna be. Here's my little 20-minute speech about like, we're doing better than ever, baby. Now enjoy the game. And then
just like that,
dude left, vanished for the rest of the day to do interviews and things. And then at the end came back and did like, at least for the day that I was there, like an hour and a half of Q&A with the
90
room.
minutes? Jeez.
It was long, dude. I think they realized it was too long. It was long.
Okay. I wonder how many questions were sent in. Because
they had you go to a website and input questions into the website, and then they picked the questions they wanted to ask. And that's where we got some of the best information. Where people were like, what if, for lore purposes, what should we focus on completing before the end of, or before 7.0 comes out? And that poor man was just like, and then he like had to come up with stuff. I don't know if he was being accurate or not, but he was like, do the new raid, and do y'all remember who's on the convocation? That's it. And like walked away. And I was like, what the hell? What does that mean? It could mean anything. Could literally mean anything.
We got some solid answers too, but that question in particular has been being repeated like everywhere. Every Dawntrail blog I've read in like the last week has mentioned that. Like your video mentioned it. I've seen, I think, 2 different articles reference your video, Jesse, because you mentioned it in it. So you're like now the source for this.
I sometimes feel like I'm the only person that cared about that one. Every other question that was asked to him was like minutia about class details or min-maxing or a lot of the questions. I think it's valid. A lot of the questions focused around the aspect of, hey, I've been playing for 10 years, but my best friend wants to play, and boy, would I love for them to enjoy it, but also catch up to me. Like, how are we going to fix that? And them just being like, play the game. It's a really good game. Like, what do you want me to tell you? Like, you can either pay to skip it all and kind of ruin the experience, or play through the game. And that, I know it doesn't make people happy, but that's like, it is an answer. They have drawn a line, and they're like, we're not going to ever change that, so deal with it.
I can't believe you guys got a Q&A. We didn't at all.
No.
I don't think anybody even got a picture of Yoshi P, right? I don't think so.
No, I didn't. I was too scared.
We literally had a whole thing when they were done with the intro. They're like, everyone get out here. Yoshi P's going to be over here. We're all taking photos.
No, we didn't have that.
Yeah.
They got weirdly New Yorkers suddenly just for that one declaration.
Really spot on.
Let's go.
Yeah, we didn't get any of that. It did seem, because I think it was the end of the media tour. He was exhausted after I'd spoke with him, and he had one more to do. And then he came to dinner, sat with Foxclon, and then they just went. They were like, I'm done. I'm going to bed.
I was so thankful for it, too, because, like, I don't know. I try not to, like, fan out. Like, if done it long enough, I try not to be annoying. So I would never go out of my way to ask for a photo. But at FanFest, I randomly bumped into Yoshi P and got a photo. And Kyle was like in the bathroom, and the second he got back, Yoshi P left, and so we just felt like we horribly missed out.
Because he knows
it was
about
lovely that we got a chance to rectify that entire situation.
No, they made sure. Yeah.
Oh, that's sad. But yeah, you didn't get that because I think he was exhausted. I think he was done.
I can understand.
Yeah. An hour and a half. So you guys exhausted Yoshi P. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Well, you got
enjoy those
binders. Yeah.
Enjoy the binders.
Exactly.
I will, because I can remember these forever. I can look back at them in my 70s as the day I got my binder. Very good.
It was like a school trip. We had our little binders, we had our backpacks, we was on our little tour bus. Like
we did. We had a little tour bus, which was lovely.
Oh, I love the compass. That thing is so cool.
Yeah, I gotta give mine away, Saj. But still.
Why do you have to?
I feel compelled to because I'm never going to use it. Like, it's really cool, but I know I'm never going to use it.
I can just
big same. It's already in my Dawntrail bundle for giveaway. It's already in there.
I've got an event coming over. I'm giving it away there.
Yeah.
Wow. Where did camping hurt you, Mike?
We're British. We don't do that. There's nowhere to go camping here.
Is it just because you're out of room? Field.
Yeah, like you got so much stuff, you just don't know what to do with it. Like you'll just sit on a wall or something. This means more to me than the compass. That's what I'm keeping. I'm not giving this away.
Well, because you weren't supposed to take it. You did a crime.
No, we were allowed.
Evidence.
We were allowed.
You can tell me that, but you can't make me believe it. So
it's true. Other people have the compass, but I know a lot of people don't have this.
Yeah, he had to work hard for that. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So I'll keep that.
Crime committed. Yeah.
Well, Jordan committed a crime too. She's guilty, sitting over there.
Oh.
I don't know what it was. That could have been anything, honestly.
It just fell into your backpack.
Yes, it was an accident. Oh no, it got in there.
How did that get there? What?
I wish one of those PCs would have fallen into my backpack.
Oh, that's really strange.
So did you all do different things? Because that's what I saw when I looked around the room of what people were doing. Like Jordan was drowning herself, and other people were taking like empty screenshots. Yeah, I was like, we've got to play Picto, we've got to play Viper, but everybody did different things. Like you said, some people were doing like trying to do full class guides of like every job while they were there.
Yeah. Kyle and we talked about this a bit on our stream, and Jesse heard us kind of have a mental crisis when we talked that night. Like we were just sitting there like, who are we? What do we do with this information? What is right for our channel? Because it was different than what I'm like. We both used to cover Blizzard games and Heroes and Hearthstone together, and what we would like the preview for that stuff was like more straightforward. Like if you went and played a WoW expansion at BlizzCon, like it was just like, here's the whole zone, the quests are here, here's out of context story, you can do it linearly, have fun. But here it was like they obscured anything pertaining to the story. So like, yeah, we were like, we don't know. We're not really, I don't think we're the class guide people. And then we looked at Happy, who was screenshotting every ability on Earth, and we're like, that looks exhausting. Let's not do that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and we had and just all the community managers, like we start gathering around us because they'd seen everybody doing the guides, doing exploring, but they see two dudes trying to photograph themselves like photogenically with the castle in the background, giving thumbs up emotes at the same time. And like, what are these dudes doing here? This is fascinating. What are they? They're sharing a computer? That's weird.
Well, that was at the end of the day, we kind of figured out, we're like, wait a minute. We always do like little skits with our Warriors of Light, and we try and comp ourselves into cutscenes together because we've been playing through the whole MSQ together. And we're like, well, shit, why don't we try and do that? But it was kind of tough because they had to share a rig. But later in the day, someone had left, and one of the community managers, my absolute hero, came over and was like, hey, there's a open PC if you two want to quest around together. And so we remade our Warriors of Light, and we.
Oh, you two were sharing the most of the day, just one PC.
Yeah. I'd say for about half the day. And so I was super thankful that.
Yeah, it sounds kind of poor, like a poor person's approach.
But
I had my own PC, of course, John.
Well, of course. Well, they rearranged the room for you. Yeah. Well,
not everybody gets the mic treatment. I mean,
it sounds funny if I sat there crowded around one PC and everyone else is looking over like, what the hell is going on over there?
There's an element of that too, because I mean, we're most of us pretty new to the game still, and I play the Astrologian, so I've made a bunch of opinions about it, but
did you like it?
I love it. I think it's awesome. Not really reduction in buttons, so that goal was kind of weird, but it's thematic. And so with healers on strike, hey, I still love doing it. So hire me for your local raiding needs, I guess.
Look at this scab over.
I know, right? I know, right? But I like. They're like, everyone's scab. Like, I don't have any buttons to press, and I'm like, I got a ton. I'll press them all the time. I'll just draw cards for fun. But there is that element of like, kicking open the door and being like, hey, here's my opinion on Astrologian. Like, well, you missed Heaven's Ward. You don't know what it was like back then when they overtuned us and we loved it. And same thing kind of with Viper and Picto. You end up in this weird, comparing it to WoW energy place of, I could be like any job. So there's no like serious investment. I'll just try things. Do you like it? Is it bad? Is it good? It's like, well, we'll see what happens. It doesn't really matter because I'm not going to level a whole character to find that out.
So suck it. That was like a really passive aggressive response. I don't know. I'm not going to play it. To do what you want.
I've been trying to manipulate Kyle psychologically to be like, don't worry that you haven't played Astrologian as long as there's other Astrologians, because your Astrologian guide would be unlike the other Astrologian.
What, like bad?
Guides.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, some people would definitely comment and say that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really about like what you're good at and focusing on that and not getting lost in the sauce of like being overwhelmed at stuff. Like, I'm aware I'm not going to interview at the level of, say, Preach interviewing. It's just not going to happen. I'm not going to try to.
Yeah.
I'm not. But like, I'm not going to try to do that.
You had a cameo on yours.
Oh, that was excellent, by the way. I loved it.
But that is pure goofery, right? Like, I'm not going to ask questions people really care about. I'm going to ask questions that I care about that are stupid as hell, right? Like, that's where I'm coming from. I'm not going to give you in-depth, like, when you go to my video, it is like, yeah, I played Viper. Just press buttons. It'll look cool. People will like it. If you want to go watch someone else. They know how to actually play it. Picto is like, look at this thing. It's cool. Go watch someone else. They actually know how to play this thing. I was there to be like, I found 2 really cool lore things, guys, and I think that's cool as shit. And everything else was pretty. And I ran the dungeon, and I liked the stuff that was in the dungeon. That was also pretty. And I dressed up my Lalafell in all the outfits. So there you go. Like, I did what I wanted, and it made me happy. And that's all you have to do in this situation is like, what's going to make you happy at the end of the day? And hopefully your audience will eat that up. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time trying to get everything. You can't. It's impossible.
So don't try. In things you're not. Like, that's just a massive waste of time. Yeah, like, never do that. Like, oh, let's do Astro Guide, and I've never played it. Like,
yeah, what good would I be to you? It'd be a waste of my time.
Fucking wasting my time and yours. Like, I'm not doing that.
But that's the question. Did you feel, Len, around the table, like, did you feel like, okay, Mage, that Pictomancer was bringing something new to the spellcastery of the game?
I felt like Viper and Pictomancer were both quite interesting in terms of it didn't seem as like linear in its rotation as a lot of the other jobs. There was a lot of choice. Like Viper had 3 different sets of 2, the single target and the AoE version of it. And then there were different choices that you made at each stage. There was a lot of choice. And then Pictomancer, you had its kind of core rotation, which then had its, 1, 2, 3 following off on each other. But then it also had the different things that you could paint. And just to kind of add on to what you guys are saying, somebody who is like quite a prominent guide writer was like, it's fine. At the event, they said, nobody knows how these work anyway. And the audience sure as hell isn't. So just have fun with it. Comment on things that you see what you like, see what you don't like. And I was like, that's a really good point. Like, nobody knows how this works. I was reading the Viper in the binder, and I was like, yeah, I don't know what this is. But nobody does. Anyway. Yeah, but I did feel like it's really interesting how they've designed the 2 new jobs rather than if things being quite linear. I have seen how they're branching out and having like multiple different things to do and think about. Because I know in WoW, there are usually a lot of different rotations. There's a lot of like niche rotation uses, a lot of situational talents and rotation. Like there's a lot more to it rather than just like a homogenous rotation. So it's kind of nice to see that in the 2 new jobs. Again, and whether it ends up playing like that, whether it will be linear or not, we don't know. But this is just like a first opinion.
Can I ask a question about Picto, by the way? Just to like, this is a real ass question because I do not understand it. You have, like, if you split your abilities, you have paint, and white color, black color abilities. And it seems like it's 2 entire different sets of, like, this is a whole thing and this is a whole thing. And correct. Still have no idea when you pick to choose which one.
You don't. The paint stuff's just filler. Thing. That's it. Yeah, the painting stuff with the black and white abilities is just your filler when the rest of your shit's on cooldown. That's
but
it.
This seems like it just does more. There's so much more going on over here with the black and white than the painting, and I'm like, maybe what if I just don't paint? Like,
I feel like that's the red mage.
I am a non-painting picture monster.
I got used to it. I played for a couple of hours. So you paint the abilities, your hammer and your Moogle and your bat and all that. And those are your big hard hitting things. And then while they've got charges though, so you can't spam that. You use the paints.
It's like you prep a canvas. You have to prepare your canvas so that you can then use the canvas abilities on cooldown because some of them are wicked long.
Mm-hmm. And you can cast the black and white abilities while you're moving. So it's just like if you're running and you can't cast. Because I wasn't a huge fan of Picto. It was very good, but it's got some really long cast times, bro. And I was like, this is taking forever. But you can cast them on the move. That's all. So it's totally separate. You're right. It's totally separate. They have the painting, which is the main bit where you do all the cool stuff with the hammer and it looks like Splatoon and it's really fun. And then they have the paint stuff is just like you can still press something while you're waiting for that to come back.
Yeah, it was one of those things where the entire time I was like, it seems like, at the end of the day, honestly, truthfully, the best way to learn this stuff is probably to go back to early dungeons and see what you have access to and kind of make your way forward through like 30, 50, 60 to see what you're supposed to, because they're going to dump a bunch of abilities on you right away. And I'm like, okay, but I need, like, if I'm doing this one set of things, how often am I cramming in this other stuff? And if I'm doing this stuff, how often do I drop that to go back to the other thing that has a long ass cast time that I have to then paint and then do another thing and then do a third thing to activate it? Like,
true. I complained about that. I was like, dude, do we really need 3 buttons for the hammer? And they're like, kinda. I'm like,
it makes no sense to me why there are 3. Like it should be you press the one and then it lights up a different color, and then you press it again, and then it lights up, and then you press it again. It should just be 1, 1, 1 instead of like 1, 3, 5. Like, it's crazy to me
because they put the others on cooldown. I can't use 3 again because the way I bind it, I was like, how am I going to get my hands to learn this? And I was like, okay, so it goes 3, Shift 3, Alt 3. So 3 is hammer, 2 is Moogle, all the way up, and then 4 is the landscape. Then it made some sort of sense to me. I was like, this is needless because I can't use the other 2 if I'm using this one. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
So transfer it. And they're like, no, because you need to see the charges. I'm like,
yeah, there was a step in there that was a little bit confusing because you'd paint the canvas and then you have to activate it. So you paint the weapon and then you have to activate the weapon. But that kind of implies that there are multiple weapons because you kind of choose, right, I want to activate this one because of the situation. But there wasn't a choice. You are activating that one weapon because there is only one weapon. So that stage always confused me a little bit.
Maybe they're going to do. I can see cosmetics coming for Picto, where they'll change the hammer into different animations, but they might add stuff later on. It's still early days, but yeah, because especially in expansion where they've taken the other jobs and compressed a lot of the buttons down that don't make sense. Because 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Why is it not just one button? It was odd to me that they kept Picto like that. It's like it was designed before the button squish.
Right.
It's like, oh, we made Picto. We've got too many buttons on all the other jobs. We need to squish those down. And that happened later while they were still making Picto.
Especially when most of the Viper, I mean, even though Viper has like 4 different combos you can use, the main basic one is still just a 1-2. It just keeps switching on you. Yep. It changes for you. And I was like, you're doing it with Viper. Surely you could do it with Pictomancer, but I guess they decided not to for reasons I don't understand.
That was weird. We had like a crowd of community managers around us, like all trying to solve this puzzle, and we're all looking at the gauge and being like, what's it trying to tell us? Like, what mysteries does this hold? And it's just the visual of it changing from 1, 2, or 3 back and forth. It has no purpose. There's nothing gauged on it except for the adder business over in the corner. That's a gauge.
Yeah. It was just the colors. It was either red, blue, blue, red, blue, blue. So you can figure it out to go in. And it takes care of itself automatically as well. Like after you get them up, all the buffs just stay up besides the debuff.
Yeah, we swapped it over to the simplistic view, which really, well, we were like, oh, it's just like a counter. It's basically counting your combo.
Yep.
Yeah. It's once you figure it out, Viper's like actually pretty simple. To me, I was like, Picto so much more. I thought it was gonna be the easiest one watching the live letter when they were going through it. And I was like, oh, that's so simple. Playing it, I was like, bro, I don't know what I'm supposed. There's an optimal way to play this, and I am not doing it.
That's how I felt.
I have a hammer though, and that's cool because it goes bonk bonk.
Neat.
Yeah, I can bonk bonk. That works.
Well, like shout out to the team and like Yoshi P too, because like it looked easy because it seems like he knew what he was doing. It wasn't like an old E3 demo where someone's on stage and they've like never played a game before.
Oh, sweet. Final Fantasy with the voiceovers. Yeah, check my 6.
Who did a trailer? Oh, WoW. I'm sorry to keep mentioning WoW, but they just did a trailer for Mop Remix, I think it was, where they had the literal worst player ever of playing that game as the focal point of the trailer, to the point that it enraged me. I was like, every button you're pressing is so fucking wrong that I want to strangle you. Stop pressing these buttons. If you knew anything about the game, I was infuriated. And I went red in the face. And people were like, you need to turn the trailer off. I'm like, no, we're watching it again. Watch how bad this is, step by step. I mean, I started going like frame by frame. I'm like, and watch where he presses now. Why would you ever press this button? This is insane to me. And I don't get why they release it that way. But the Yoshi P gets on it. It's like, okay, I'm going to show you Viper now. And it's like, because I agree with Jesse. I looked at Viper. I was like, that looks messy and complicated and hard. Because like 5 buttons glow up at once, but he presses one and then it changes to another one. And I was like, oh, that looks really weird. Picto looked like it made sense. But Viper I picked up in like 20 minutes. So I was like, this thing is so stupidly easy. I can have so much fun.
I loved Viper. It was I like Dancer, and Dancer was one of the big surprise jobs for me that I've played. Like I was expecting to hate it, and like I adore Dancer, and Viper reminded me big time of Dancer because you get into this flow state and it kind of guides you along. Also, if you like procs, hey, you're gonna have a good time.
It's kind of the same vibe as Modern Summoner as well, where it's just like follow the glow. You follow the glow, you're not gonna screw this one up. You're gonna be fine. Just let it wash over you and just gold, flashy, and you'll be fine. Like if you're confused, you'll figure it out, and most people won't ever notice because you do so much, so often.
I didn't find myself spamming like the same singular button over and over again though. Right. So it didn't make me think of Summoner in that way.
I mean, I guess you're right.
Played Summoner, but my friends mock it all the time. Like, dude, it has like 3 buttons. Like it's insane. It's so stupid. I want to try it out just for that purpose.
There's a little more to it than that, but you're pressing other buttons to continue spamming the same buttons, basically. So it's kind of like almost like a
now let's talk Red Mage, which is the same 5 buttons over and over again, and it's perfect. The perfect job for me. Don't change it. Every time they update it, they just add another to the same button to press, and I'm like,
they know what they're doing. They gave you that rose whip thing. That was awesome. That was stylish.
It's great. I love it.
Yeah, and you can have fun in the raids now. Did you guys? Oh, I know what I wanted to ask you guys because I saw it happening a lot at our place. Did you guys like have a lot of people wiping on the last boss in the dungeon? Apparently, they're nerfing it. The boss we fought was too hard.
Really? No, I thought it was too easy.
I also thought it was kind of easy.
I was sweating, but I usually play with. No, I was stressful. Playing Black Mage, okay. Also, I play with an MMO mouse with the buttons down the side. So I was trying to press Shift 9 without the MMO mouse. So I had to take my hand off of the mouse, and then there was 95 swirlies. I was stressed, and then the star chases you down. I think it took me 6 attempts.
Okay.
A star?
Damn.
Did they add a
we had
star
a lot of
between
people
now and
wipe. Yeah, there's the floating star that it times differently with the spread mechanic. So they resolve at different times throughout the fight, which was wiping people out.
I know exactly what you're talking about. The one that's on the ground that sort of moves around.
Yeah, it's like a gold thing that goes to corners.
Okay.
Yeah, it times differently with the other mechanics because that's what was causing people to like freak out. Like
it happens the exact same time that there's 2 tornadoes on the ground moving around while that thing's moving. Yeah, that was kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah, and you have a blue swirly on everybody as well. So, but if you spread too early, then you die to the other thing. But if you have to wait and then spread out, like once you've seen it, you're fine. But I think everybody wipes at least once. I know Scribe, who's like the leader of the Echo raid team in WoW, he immediately got up out of his chair, came over, and he went, "Have you done the last boss yet?" And I went, "No." And he went, "When?" I'm like, nah. In a couple of minutes, he's like, "I'm watching you." And I was like, "Why?" He went, "Because I died. I want to see if you die." I'm like, "Dude, I played Picto. I haven't learned anything." And he's like,
question, did you all do it with a duty or with a group?
I did it with a duty because I was at a different pace. But I know a team did it at our event as a team, and there was cheers in the room when they killed it. Because I think
interesting. I did it as a duty, and I think I've just learned from WoW to be like a good follower. As a healer in a raid, I shut up and do my job. I've done that. I did that for 15 years. So I watched those Scions and I was like on Kryle's ass the entire time. Wherever Kryle was, I was there just swinging away like a viper. And then I'd be like, Kryle's moving, I'm moving. And I just stayed alive the entire time. I just like figured it. So I mean, I guess that's kind of a cheese way to do it because I learned nothing, but I beat it.
Yeah, but you follow the NPCs. They know where they're going. They stand where it's safe, and you're like, I think over there is safe. That's where I'm going. But I had no keys. So I was like,
That's a good point. Because I'm bad at following the NPCs because I think they're noobs. So I'm gonna go my own way.
They know exactly where to stand. They may suck at DPS. They may be really bad at DPS, but they will stand exactly where you need to stand. And so, but once I ran it that first time, I went back in on Picto, and I kind of knew where everything was because I just followed the NPCs from the first time. So it was I was like, wow, this is so much easier than Tower of Zot. Tower of Zot, we wiped so many times during that for the last media tour. We got crushed.
Yeah.
So
I wipe to it now. Like anytime Kyle and I are leveling jobs together, we always bother each other when we get to like 70s, and we're getting Tower of Zot a lot, and it's just always we die in there. Like God help if I'm healing on Tower of Zot. Like it goes bad.
Oriange wiped me on Heidelin. I don't trust that guy. That guy's on my shit list.
Big same. He did the same too. Yep.
Yeah, on the trials, like at least in the live game, you're doing like duty and Endwalker and stuff. A lot of the Scions move at they all do the mechanics, but some are like way later than the others to move.
Cute. It's a cute, Alizé is always a little, behind and.
Yeah, Alphino died in my duty, which made me question a lot of things because then it failed me, and I was like, "Why? This is just my fault."
They programmed it because they heard Colin Ryan has just started playing and is learning the game. So Alphino is still learning.
Punish him, yeah, I get it.
That'll teach him to play. Thinks he can come in here and stalling the game. Idiot.
When you did the duty, did any of you get anyone besides? So my team, every time I did it, was Alphino, Waklamot, and Kryle.
Yeah.
But also on the boat was Alizé, and I was like, is there a version where should I have been a healer? What did I do wrong here?
Ooh,
can you
if I play Picto, is Kryle in the group?
Kryle's still in the group.
Yeah, she's in the group.
Yeah. I was surprised they left that in though, because it must be the very first thing we do when Dawntrail starts, because they have that little role play scene with Thancred and Oriange. And I was like, you've got rid of everything else, but okay, it's
100% the level 81 dungeon. Probably it's like the first thing we're gonna do. It's in zone 1. Yeah,
it's the arrival at So it's yeah, I was like, I'm surprised you've even left this in, given how much you've hidden from the rest of us. But because I was worried about showing it in the video, I'm like, people probably don't want to see this. But it's a fun little side thing where because they're having fun. They're like, hey, we're having a little friendly competition to go and play on the island. It's so fun. There's nothing bad here. Yay.
I think that's probably why they left it in, because they've talked at multiple fan fests about how you're breaking into two teams going up against each other. Like, and to me, that's all that represented. It's not like Thancred shows up and is like, let me expand the plot of Dawntrail to you before I bring these rocks down.
It's literally 3 lines of dialogue.
Yeah.
And it's them being really snarky, like, good friends being snarky. And it's like, okay, this really means nothing. So I get why they left it in, because it's kind of like, ooh. It's the same thing that in the media tour for Tower of Zot, where they had that intro bit where it's like, come on, team, we've got to split up. And really, it's like, we don't know what's happening in this moment. But yeah, same vibe.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, they've released the stuff now, the latest live letter where they were like, okay, everything's not good anymore. And I'm like, that's enough for this taco eating. It's actually really, really, really bad.
Yeah, I felt like it was overly happy. Ooh, vacation, bit of friendly banter in it. And then it's like, where's the butt? We're being set up here on all this happy. The music's all like, la, la. I'm waiting for the push off the very high cliff that we've got here.
You've read the articles. It was going to be that, but then the team played Elden Ring, and now it's just all gone to hell.
He kept smirking, even in person. He was like, and we're all going to have a good time on our summer vacation. I'm like, you rats, you know exactly how bad this is going to go. And I can't wait for it, because Solution 9 looks awesome.
Yes, it does. I'm so excited to get
so
there.
So much FF9 stuff.
Yeah, I'm playing through right now, so it's been so cool to recognize even the city, I think Alexandria theme.
I've been on that street. When they showed that screenshot, I was like, I have collected, there's loot upstairs in this one. I know if you go downstairs in this one, you can go behind the wooden wall. I'm like, I've been on this road. I know exactly where
that's where Vivi meets the rat boy.
Yeah.
The micro adventure. Yeah.
So that was something I wanted to ask you, Mike. Like, that has enhanced your experience. You've been on that big Final Fantasy giant
Yeah, I've done
journey.
them all now. Oh, God, last time me and Jesse were together, he was like, have you played FF8 yet? I'm like, no, that's on the list. He's like, let me know what you think.
I would love to know what you think of Final Fantasy VIII.
I love it. It's a cocaine-fueled nightmare, and I was along for that ride the whole way. I was like, I don't even know how this dialogue works. I think I had sent you a message saying, so I just watched a guy go on a date for a girl that he's been lusting after for 6 months, where he fell asleep while talking to her, where she sat and waited for him to wake up again and then carry on the date. And you just went, I love Final Fantasy VIII or something like that. That's your only reply.
It is. I'm convinced it's 3/4 of a perfect game. And then the last CD or whatever, the last bit is truly insane. Like drugs must have been involved. There's no other explanation.
But I think Solution 9 is based on FF8, the final city in FF8.
Hold on. Can you explain FF8 to me as if it's Evangelion? Is it like the end of the original run of Evangelion? Because that's what it sounds like.
That sounds anime, in which case I'm not your guy.
So imagine a story about a bunch of kids in schools, and these floating schools travel around and blood sport each other. Children engage in physical combat to the death. But
they can't have hot dogs.
Right.
Battle Royale style.
Is that important?
It is very important.
And then there are witches, but it possibly is just one witch through time.
That tracks. Yeah, I believe that now.
And then turns out all those kids connected in ways you never would have expected. Turns out it's a much deeper connection than just Battle Royale. It's one of the craziest stories I've ever seen in my entire life.
Okay.
And it's a love story.
Yeah, and the antagonist only has one line of dialogue throughout the entire game. Whatever. That's it. No matter what's going on.
Apparently, the Japanese version, he has a whole story. The man talks in that one. In an English version,
I prefer this one. People will pour out their heart. They're like, "You're so amazing. I love you. I've loved you for so long." And he just goes, "Whatever."
Also, there is a deep conspiracy theory about it that the main character has been dead for most of the game.
There's always those conspiracy theories, I feel like.
Oh, so at the very end, you know, there's like this weird cutscene where he has like a hole in his face.
Yeah.
If you go through that cutscene like frame by frame, the implication is that he has been dead the entire time.
Oh.
And people are like, bro, what? It is one of the craziest. Again, Cokefield is absolutely correct. It's an insane game.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
It's wild. Yeah.
And it's fun though. Like I rate it right up there. Like I would rather replay 8 than 7 for sure. Like I just had a great time, but I don't know. Sometimes we play games with the stream and it's enhanced by the fact that you've got this audience that is along the ride for you. And they're all just like, what's happening? And we're like, we don't know, but it's kind of fun. And I want to see what's happening next. It's like, hey, they all just passed out and had a shared dream where they traveled to the past and they woke up and just went, that was weird. I just carried on with their day. Like, this is insane. Like, it's so, wait, did we all dream the same thing? Yeah, I think we were there. I could feel it.
The craziest thing then is their follow-up was like, Final Fantasy IX, a tribute to all Final Fantasies that have come before. Our main character, a little black mage boy. The plot? Death. We're going to talk about death for the next 40 hours. And a little boy's going to have to come to terms with that shit. And you're like, what is happening right now? It's crazy.
This pure existential crisis throughout the whole game.
Okay. So and has this made you excited for Solution 9?
Yes, because I think the city at the end of FF8 is based on Solution 9. Oh, Solution 9 is based on the last city in FF8, where the Borg Cube Xbox turns up. Like, that's, like, it's got a lot of similarities to what's going on there. But it could also be 13 as well, because they go to somewhere similar in 13. But, like,
no one has ever sold Final Fantasies better than you two right now. Because
I'm excited for 8 now. I've heard so much
it's
about
amazing.
It.
Yeah, yeah, you can't rank it with the others because it's on its own. It just stands on its own.
It's hard to rank any of them together because everything's preference. And usually what I'll find out is the first Final Fantasy you played is always your favorite. Most people are like,
4 was my favorite, and that was the first I played.
So what if 10 was the first one I played, but I never beat it, and the only Final Fantasy to date that I've ever beaten is 1?
Then you need to go out and play 10, and you just get your Jimbo. You need to put 7777 in there, and then you can steamroll. Because if you actually do the grind to do that game, you're a moron. You're Jimbo for life, dude. And then your whole stream will be so mad at you because they ground for like 2 months to fight the super bosses, and you just rocked up with your Jimbo and slapped it, and you're a winner.
I feel like I'm broken inside because before I beat any Final Fantasies, I beat the first 2 Kingdom Hearts. So
I've never played Kingdom Hearts.
No, me neither. But they're coming to PC, aren't they? So
don't care.
Available now, aren't they?
I cannot stress this enough. As someone who went through the Kingdom Hearts cycle, look, y'all, the first one, it's a fun game. The second one, it's a fine game. Then by the third one, you have to play all 800 side games, and then none of it is. The third game is pure nonsense. I've never once in my life been so upset with a game. I don't know how that game ends. I got to the first area and was like, nah, dude, this is nah. Do not. I would like bless anyone who's a fan who's like, my favorite character is Aqua, and you can't tell me otherwise. Cool. I'm so happy for you. I've never been so upset with a franchise in my life. I was like, I waited 13 years for this.
Well, apparently you hated 13 as well, because I think Snow is possibly the best character in any FF game of all time.
Barf.
Yeah, people were just like, you're not going to believe it. Like, Jesse hates this one. And I got in and I was like, yo, Lightning is so cool. He's the coolest.
The difference is it progresses. So 13 is fine. It's not my favorite. 13.2 I like more than 13, but 13.3 is maybe my least favorite game ever made in the history of mankind. I
hadn't done my sequels yet. I wanted to do all the base games first, so I've got 10.2 to look forward to, and 13.2 and 13.3
So 3.
You've never played 10.2, dude?
Not yet.
10.2 story's insane, pure nonsense. But the dress sphere system is hot fire. It's the best job system in any game they've made. It's so cool. It's
I don't know.
Really
5's
good.
Solid. 5 is one of the best I've ever seen. Like instantly swap jobs, just levels. You're done. Oh, so good.
Oh, I love the job. Plus 10.2 has maybe the most ridiculous intro to any video game I've ever seen in my entire life. Up there with like Devil May Cry. It is hilarious.
Bold statement. All right, I'm excited now.
Okay. Yeah,
I've got lots to look forward to. I had 14 was my first, and then I played 4 right after that, and then the tone was set immediately. I felt like it set me up really well for the rest of the Final Fantasy games, because I was like, okay, so the common theme is despair. That's great. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
One more last point on FF8 though. It is where Triple Triad comes from, because in the midst of all this chaos, you have to stop. Let's play some Triple Triad. And they also literally take the cards off you legitimately if you lose, which means you have to play more and more and more to get your cards back. And
I can hear Kyle browsing eBay for FF8 right now.
That's all right.
It's really good because you have Zell, who's so cool. Zell's gonna play some cards. Like, and he's just like, he takes you to his house, and then you play Triple Triad with his mother, and she yoinks your best card, and you're just like, I hate you, mum. And then you have to sit there all day playing.
And again, let me remind you, the background, like, hey guys, it's me, Zell. I have a bunch of cool cards. The background to all that is like war, children fighting war. You're like, what the hell?
They're trained mercenaries, Jesse. Okay, they're not untrained. They fought against their fellow classmates and killed them.
Good point. That's a good point. I'm looking forward to all that in Final Fantasy 14.
Oh, it's a road.
It's gonna be beautiful. Solution 9 is gonna bring it. Though we did recently, as of last week, get to the zero miss part. So I'm kind of excited to stay on my bullshit. Like, a bunch of people apparently got tricked by Zero and Zero Miss being in the same game, having similar names.
Potential red herring, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Couldn't see it coming.
We're immune.
Yeah, just dodging that whole issue.
There was a clue at the beginning of Endwalker that Zero was Cecil, because in her memory of where she used to live, there is a statue of Cecil in there. And it was like, oh, Zero is Cecil.
I don't know what that means.
That's why
everyone... Oh, you've not played 4? Oh, come on.
Yeah, that's why everyone got all excited about the statue. The statue.
4 is phenomenal.
I don't think I'd played 4 at that point.
Yeah, 4 is fantastic. Yeah. It's so well paced. And it's really short. But yeah, there's a statue. That's what that Endwalker bit's based on. I'm sure people told you that. It's full.
Chad wants to snipe you because we haven't done 6.5 or 6.5 yet.
Well, you've met Zero and Zerubus.
Yeah, no, they're there. He came out.
That's at the end
so you've been there. You've absolutely done that.
At the end of 6.4.
Yeah, you've totally done that. It's one of the first introductions of Zero.
What's left in 6.5 is a dungeon.
He's talking about the statue that was in the middle of her domain was.
I did not spoil anything.
No. He's good. He's clean. He's clean.
Yeah, they've absolutely been there. It's one of the first things. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you go to her place and she's got all the. Well, I'm not saying anymore because there's probably somebody here.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to go back and redo that because I played 4 quite late into the post patches. I think I did it from 6.4. I then moved over to FF4, so I did it a little bit later. So I have to go back and see that.
Mm-hmm. We're good. I don't know what to say now because you guys are.
Hey, I don't want to spoil anything.
Don't worry about it.
I don't want to spoil the 30-year-old game.
Don't worry about it. I've been on my own. I've been on my own business. Jesse had those images at the end of his video. I was poring over those, trying to line up some calamities.
One of those made it in their launch trailer, so I know it must mean something.
They're gonna go so hard.
It must mean something.
It's gonna be ridiculous. Like they're being all coy and being like, whole new story. Nah, they're gonna go so. What was Toril doing during the calamities? Like, not experiencing anything? Did it get inserted during one of those and ended up on the source kind of business? Like,
how
many of us? Question real quick. How many of us have watched the launch trailer?
I have.
I don't want to talk about this if it's a spoiler.
All of us, right? Including Gaia and Reen's new roommate.
You've never. All right, so you haven't watched the launch trailer.
Yes.
No, not yet. Oh, this is kind of what I was getting at the top of the show, and I was like, this originally was planned as like a media tour thing, but because we couldn't get together until today, the topic has changed slightly. But we have not seen the trailer yet. But
I don't want to talk about it then. If you haven't talked about it, I'm not going to talk about it.
I have a question though.
I have a theory, and I think it's spot on, and I'm good. I'm up my own tush
I
about
think Garrett and Kyle should leave the call. Just go ahead.
I'm fine with that, by the way. But before we mute our own outgoing, because we can totally do that. We'll after I get this question out and get an answer, we'll do it this way. Kyle and I will mute our outgoing, and if the three of you could all raise your hands to the camera when you're done talking,
it's like playing D&D online. Go like this when it's time to come back. Just go like this.
Yeah, go like this. Wonderful. We can do that. And
well, your audience won't have watched it either. Are they waiting for you to watch it?
Yeah, there's no reason to do that.
Okay. They think everything's a spoiler. It's fine.
We don't need to spoil stuff.
We wouldn't be able to make content.
We're holding court before we know the question.
Yeah. No, it's fine. But my question is, like, for the three of you that have watched it, like, has it impacted your excitement for Dawntrail? Do you want to play Dawntrail more or less after having watched the trailer?
Can't do this. It's insane.
Oh, less. Boo.
Yes.
I have no opinion either way.
I am more excited.
I'm so Switzerland right now. It's crazy.
Like, actually, or you just don't want to say anything in front of me?
No, I absolutely. I mean, yeah, I want to play it more. I'll say that.
Okay. All right. Well,
see, now you want to know why, don't you? Look at you, curious little eyes.
I'm just curious. Also, we've never watched a single launch trailer because we could just go and play it, and so we were like, screw it. But we're leaning now towards going and watching it after we finish 655. So
it does have what I think most people would consider spoilers, but not spoilers in the sense that it's going to ruin, because we kind of already know the vibe of what it is. It's not like what they did with the launch trail for Shadowbringers, where at the end, like, Emmett comes out and is like, let me ruin your entire worldview. It's nothing like that.
Well, I just watched the Endwalker launch trailer a couple days ago because I wanted to get a vibe for, like, what they're like. And because there are a couple people, and they're all well-meaning. I'm not dunking on anyone who's like, oh, spoilers. They're all meaning well. I appreciate it. But so I went and watched the Endwalker launch trailer to get my own opinion. And I'm like, y'all, if I had watched this, I would have been so friggin' hyped, and I would have been horribly misled as to where I thought the story was going.
I'm pretty sure that's the theme of this one. Is
right.
So the launch trailer is full of mysteries. Let's say that.
I have one more follow-up, because then I might pitch something to Kyle. Do you think it matters if we watch it before we finish 6.5?
No.
Not particularly. Here's the one thing I'd say. Everyone in chat, when I was like, yeah, you're on the boat with Walk Lamont, they're like, the guys haven't gotten there yet. You literally were at the media event with all of us. Like, I don't.
Walk Lamont has been mentioned a billion times. Like, we did.
I don't know how to help y'all.
We did.
Have you seen the Dawntrail trailer?
Oh yeah, no, we watched the graphics fly by.
Well, have you watched? Yeah, if you've watched the Dawntrail trailer, then I would say probably not.
Okay. Hey, Kyle, how hard would it be to pipe it in right now?
Well, wait, we're gonna make everybody watch the thing they've seen before?
We're going live. We're doing it live. We're doing it live.
I mean, it's a suggestion.
Can you create a new scene in OBS? Can you do it, Kyle?
Oh man, I can try.
God willing, I can make it work.
Listen,
here's the non-spoiler spoiler way of talking about this. The vibe it gives off is, you know how in Endwalker there was very clearly a first half and a second half, and the second half is completely different from the first half? That's the vibe of what this next expansion is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's very clear, like, there's gonna be a switch that flips, and it's like, now we're in crazy town, bitches. Like,
see, I've got theories about that, and
yeah. Oh, big time theories.
I got so many theories, and I'm like, they could do. I know they're not gonna do it. Oh, we can't talk about this.
No, we're doing you all doing you a disservice by not watching this right damn now. Okay, allow me.
I'm going to the bathroom real quick.
Okay, perfect.
He's so excited he needed to poop.
God, everything's broken. Everything's broken.
Okay. I'm going to watch this damn thing again. Let's go. I'm excited.
I just want to thank Kyle for even trying to do this, because I know how much it will botch the overlay.
We're going to be okay, and it's just going to sit there for the rest of it. I'll have you know that. This is not moving anywhere. This is weird.
Jesse Cox looking better than ever. Honestly. Oh, never mind.
He's going to... This is where you all live from now on.
So to be completely honest, we're like coming in hot off of like just a wild personal weekend. Kyle and I had talked for like 5 seconds this morning in preparation for this. Like, should we watch the trailer? And we were both like, we don't have the time to think about this. We got to prep for the stream and go.
Jordan over there doing good things.
So we appreciate
work. Good camera work. It's good camera work. I'm appreciating this very much.
You would destroy it. Our wonderful overlay.
Just being a child.
Where are you? There you are.
Speaking of the trailer, that's actually a great line to talk about, because in the Endwalker trailer, in the launch trailer, That's 90% of the lines of dialogue they include are absolute throwaway lines said by random people in the game. And you think it's supposed to mean something, but it's like, oh no, that's just like Ascian 4. That guy didn't have a name.
The part that bothered me in the Endwalker trailer was just the various, oh my God, I've got Arenville, and oh my God, who's our shard? And I have too many Arens in our head. No, wait, that's not right. Axeman. Axeman.
Shit. Frickin' Ardbert?
Ardbert.
Yeah, I'm glad it's
How
not just
dare you forget that good boy?
I know, right? But he's like walking around
Preach is back. You got back right in time, dude.
He's all over that trailer.
You couldn't escape it.
Well,
I'm excited.
The overlay.
It just exploded. The overlay.
It's going down. I'm cutting things. I'm trying to remember not Arenvald's name.
We'll do it live moment. This is great.
Yeah.
All right. But do know, by the power of Discord, I have no control over your audio, and it's usually very loud. So prepare yourself on your end.
So to our three guests, if you go to Kyle's stream and you right click, there's a volume slider that you can control.
Oh, I see stream volume. Look at that.
Yeah. So you be the judge.
And
the judge.
Stream, you seem hyped about it. Everyone, thank Kyle, because at the last minute I was like, you can stream it, Kyle. And now I'm making him deal with this. So
no, it's all good. It's going right there.
Look at this. So impressive.
Is it? Oh, it's going to fit. Look at that.
Can I tell you, I kind of partially hope that when this is over, the two of you are mad that you watched it. Like, it spoiled everything. I can't believe you watched it.
We'll have a communal moment.
Thank you for ruining the bit I was absolutely going to do, regardless of the actual one.
Okay, sound check for our guests. Here we go. Hang on. There's nothing happening yet. Okay.
I can hear it.
Control yourself. How'd that sound for you?
Well,
fine.
Excellent. Let's roll.
Cool.
For once, the fate of the world doesn't rest on our shoulders. We might even get a chance to enjoy ourselves.
Do not be so quick to relax.
Those waves look good.
Wait, Papa. When this contest is said and done, it'll be your daughter who sits the throne. Me, Woklamat.
And so does our ship cast off from the docks. In retrospect, of course, that battle against the storm would prove a fitting prelude to the coming contest for the throne.
I can't get used to the new name.
Such a happy place.
I know, right?
Yeah, nothing could go wrong. What a great vacation.
Mediator Mountain, no problem. I hate him already. He's awful.
We're gonna fight cactuses and make pina coladas.
The right of succession.
Main character.
The outcome of which will decide who takes my place as Dawn Serpent.
Oh, that throne room is handsome.
And that guy's Japanese voice, he's so angry.
Blessed siblings, the elevated chosen. Our nation can change for the better. I am bound to no one.
Woklamat, protector of peace and soon to be Dawn servant.
What does that mean?
I can always take what I need later. Our nation is a fortress, and its people the bricks with which it is built. It is through embracing innovation that we will usher Tuli Yolal onto a more prosperous future.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, campfire moment. Sure.
What a lovely place.
Nothing could go wrong.
Its people
I'm so happy.
Right now.
Gods. Never aging, never.
Oh, what is this?
Free.
Stargate, baby.
Hardship and conflict.
All this time, it was here, the city of gold.
It's a lot of films from outer space. Okay, cool. Dude, this looks sick.
Could it be?
Oh, hell yeah.
Much about the key remains shrouded in mystery.
What in the world is that?
What is this relic of theirs? Who made it? And to what end?
I will be the next Dawn servant, and I'll protect my people's happiness to the last.
Wait.
Hold.
Okay.
Hold.
With your strength, could you have held fast to that which is dear without sacrifice?
And pose.
What?
Okay. Theories.
I have so many amazing theories. I'm so excited.
Yeah. And they're all wrong. Every single one of them is wrong.
I think just to clear the air, we don't know who this is, right? Like, I'm not. No,
they wouldn't even tell us in the live letter, but she's definitely moving in with Gaia and Reen, 100%.
Yeah, because we got.
Yeah, she's got a spare room.
Yeah, they're all sisters.
It took me like half an hour to figure out the nerd's not holding a sword. So the nerd does not have the sword. That's the Warhammer guy. He's holding the sword in the background.
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
And then like that's main character right there. That's
so she's in the Emmett billing if you're looking at the
that's the Newman Philia. That's your Emmett.
She's right at the top and they're not saying nothing.
Her outfit is interesting. I don't know that I want to spoil that, but there's some interesting little tidbits on her outfit that I was like, okay. But I feel like it's a red herring. I feel like they're trying to get us.
Yeah. I also
on.
feel like that's ramped up as well, especially after Shadowbringers. You know, they had a little bit of an oopsie. And then with Endwalker, they started to implement a bit of red herring. So I feel like with this one, they've probably gone all out, right? Where they're like, woo.
They wouldn't show her like that. If it's the Zero Cecil thing, right? Like it's Zerimus. It's the same sort of thing. But I mean, Ascians seem. I don't think they're touching Ascians. I think they're leaving that alone.
I don't.
Do you?
Oh,
yeah.
No, I disagree.
So for Ascians, her outfit has a little like Ascian flair to it, and people are like, "Dude, Ascian." I'm with you on this. I think we're done. I think Ascians are done.
Yep.
I am open to, much like Alligans, Ascians, War of the Magi, all that stuff having like consequences of things that had happened. You ready for big brain crazy theories? Are you ready for this? Are you ready?
I'm right there with you, brother.
Mind blown. My initial thought was, oh, that doorway, maybe like a gateway to another place or another time or another one of the shards. I've since changed my mind. That woman is an AI. That giant tower is a semiconductor or some kind of thing. Inside that gateway, literally is a digital world. And when they say the line of dialogue that you can live forever and you won't ever age, all those people, Solution 9 is escaping to a digital world to escape reality, and she's the AI construct of some sort of ancient, and that's what's going on in there. And that's why the whole thing looks the way it does. That's why the Arcadian looks like a graphics card, because, bro, it is. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, this is what's going to... It's going to be weird. It's going to be like, we're in Tron now, boop, 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 boop. And that's why they can...
Yeah, I went similar theme, but slightly opposite. Is I'm wondering if Turielol, this is out there, is actually the construct. And when you go there, you're actually... I kind of almost foresee a point where we realize that we're actually in the tech world. And that's the projection they do of, like the Matrix. The Matrix is a recreation of a time when things were fine. I kind of wonder if they're going that route. And everything was... Because there's a weird... You see a glimpse of it in this one, of the sort of Western town that doesn't fit at all. It's got like saloons and shit. And like it's got old like oil derricks and trolleys and trains. It's like, that doesn't fit at all with anything else. And I'm wondering if we're literally being tested, or we're in a period of time where like things went wrong on the island. Maybe the calamities were involved in some way, and they uploaded themselves and recreate these sort of areas to live in a nice sunny trop, because they keep going, oh, it's so nice, it's so pretty, it's such a holiday place. And I'm like, I bet it's fucked. I bet that island is fucking screwed, like absolutely wrecked.
I think you're right on the idea that it's a total facade. Like, I'm convinced that the Solution 9 people, whoever they are, literally run the show in Tyrol. The Dawn Servant, all that stuff. I mean, servant's in the name. I feel like this is one of those situations where everyone's like, I want to be the Dawn Servant. And then someone's going to reveal to them like, no, you're just puppets. We really run the show. And if y'all don't shut up, we might have to come over there and wreck some stuff.
Oh, full Scientology.
Yeah. And what I love is that they literally gave us a bunch. There's Catboy looking for the throne. There's Wak Lamont looking for the throne. There's the two-headed guy looking for the throne. But then there's just random other lizard man. That's the bad guy. That's the villain. Random lizard man's gonna be the villain by the end. He's like, I'm the guy you thought I was a nobody, but I'm gonna burn this place down. I'm ready for it. I'm going full trope. Every trope I'm utilizing here.
Yep. I mean, I totally foresee that. Other than that, it's like they do come from a different shard, which will be the 9 because of all the references to 9. Yeah, something like that. That is the gateway to the 9, and their shard got wrecked. They came here, they were way more advanced, and so they kind of squirreled themselves away in Solution 9. Like, we don't want anything to do with you guys, and stay the fuck away from us. Because maybe they tried to integrate with less developed peoples. Doesn't work, as we well know. Like, historically, that doesn't work. So they were like, oh, okay, yeah, well, this is fucked up. We're just going to squirrel ourselves away.
I feel like that cup key. That's going to be those things where, that's what we're looking for. This key, this is the treasure, and we're going to do this. And I'm telling you, I feel like that's going to be one of those plot devices where we realize the like level 87 twist that's definitely going to happen is going to be like, no, dude, this is so much more messed up than you know. You're all kind of like puppets in a weird thing. And whatever that weird thing is, be it the 9th shard or a digital world or a different planet or whatever the case may be, it's going to be one of those things where, oh, now we're in a totally different place. And the question I have is, where does the game go? Like, once you go full weird, where does the game go from there?
Yeah.
Like, are we just Phantasy Star Online next expansion? Like, where are we going?
I mean, the game, we can stop making isekais about MMOs, and we can finally just have an MMO that is an isekai. Like,
yeah.
Kind of, right? Like, this is the Realm Reborn version of the storyline. That's what I keep bringing myself down to, is this is the basis of probably the next 7 or 8 years. So they can't go end of the universe meeting on day 1. Like, you can't do that. We have to build towards that. So they need to set a foundation for something bigger. And that something bigger is going to start here, right? This is like, if you think of Realm Reborn, and obviously they didn't plan for the future then, as we know, but like they started placing, like by Heaven's Ward, the Ascians are in important places, they're manipulating shit, they're doing all this, but we didn't, then it grows to the scale that is Shadowbringers and Endwalker, right? Mm-hmm. And they're going to do that again here, but the threat can't be too minor, otherwise it'd be boring, right? It's got to be a fun game. So,
yeah.
I love Yoshida said during our interview, like the big group interview, when people were asking him, you know, what is your plan? Because someone literally dropped like, what is the next 10-year arc? Do you have it planned out? And dude was just like, all right, so think back to Realm Reborn. We didn't know what the hell we were doing. We were just trying to make a game work. And then Heaven's Ward, we were just happy we had money to make another thing. And Stormblood, we pulled some threads that we had. And Shadowbringers, we pulled more threads. And now we had an actual story and we wrapped it up in Endwalker. He's like, y'all, everything that we determine what we're going to do is based on what you think about the end of this expansion. He's like, what we're going to try and like throw some shit at you. And if you love it, awesome. If you don't, we'll adjust. And so I feel like they're swinging for the fences, and we'll see what the hell this ends up being. Mm-hmm. But I have no idea what their thought process is. Like, yeah, it's going to get real weird. I'm here for weird. I love weird. But I don't know where they're like, this could be anything, which I'm kind of all right with. It's neat.
I want to throw in some time travel weirdness as well, though. I actually think Solution 9 is like an ancient civilization, whether it be Allegan or even from, was it the second Calamity where it was the lightning Calamity? Yeah, so I also want to throw in some time travel shenanigans, because our class, let's say, which is the new kind of gimmicky item. What if they had this like really advanced technology? They found a way to preserve themselves, but preserve themselves not in a digital sense, but in a time sense. And then this gate where we saw the Lalafels kind of go into, what if that's actually the gate to controlling time? And then that kind of opens up possibilities for a lot as well going forward. So I don't know. I want to throw some wackiness of that in there as well.
That's absolutely solid because it is an hourglass. It's a good catch. And I think then that opens up something that they love to do, which is, hey, we spent the last 10 years talking about the War of the Magi. What if we went there? Wouldn't that be wild? I'd be fine with that. Or like, yeah, let's go back to one of the other calamities. Or that could be crazy. Who knows? It's open to anything. Oh, yeah, I'm down for not knowing.
Could be a time turner as well. Yeah. Like, oh, there's so many possibilities of time.
These guys just watched it. They're like, let me watch it.
No. I think this is fabulous. You've had some time to chew on it.
Oh, yeah. This has been nothing but the last few days. It was just like, okay, so what if, right?
Yeah.
Hear me out.
Definitely more in Mike's camp coming out of this than Jesse's camp. But Jesse, I kind of like your read on it.
I think the digital... I don't want to spoil another show, but it reminds me of season 2 of a very popular HBO show. And I'm just going to leave it at that. But like the themes are all there. And the devs love taking stuff from HBO shows. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah.
So I was like,
my head goes like, again, going back to that answer that y'all got, Jesse being y'all, because I guess y'all didn't get an open Q&A at the end of the day over in Europe, but that admission of they're like, here's a new thing and we're going to see how you all respond to it. And then we're going to go from there. Like, I think they've just straight up admitted that they're going to see where it goes. It could be anything. And where my head goes, like looking at this, and also just I'm here because of the conversation we've been having here today. Like we did 20 minutes on other Final Fantasies. I didn't grow up with Final Fantasy. That is not the cloth I was cut from. And I was so worried as I was getting into 14 and Kyle and I started streaming it, because like the first few streams, there was just so many people like letting us know what the references were. And it scared me off. Like I started worrying like, oh shit, is this nothing but a fan service factory? Like, is this nothing but references? And there are a lot of references, but I know in other interviews with Yoshi P, and when they've talked to other folks from the team, that they talk about 14 kind of being the celebration of other Final Fantasy games. And so that you all are picking up all these references from 9, and it
only now though. Remember, I did it in reverse. So
yeah,
people complained at me similar to you. Is like, oh, like you fight Kefka. It's like, oh, this is from a Final Fantasy, or this is from here and here. And I'm like, oh, okay, I've never played those before. 14 was my first one. But then when I played through them all recently, and I've only just finished, I just had the same reaction in reverse. It's like, oh, it's Omega, sick! Like, this is cool.
Yeah, exactly. And as I got further down the road and I enjoyed the story, I realized that I didn't need to be worried about. It wasn't just a fan service factory. They were just rolling out reference after reference after reference, which is funny because I like Kingdom Hearts, and actually Kingdom Hearts is much more of that than Final Fantasy 14 is. But like to me, they've proven that they can let their fandom flag fly for all of the other Final Fantasies and still make it their own and tell a story that is their own and develop characters that are their own. They do kind of, I think with Final Fantasy 14, CS3, which sounds like Photoshop and I'm still not used to it, they do get to have their cake and eat it too. And so that's what I see here. I'm like, whatever they're doing here, whether it is a gateway to another world or it is a digital world, either way, if we're really easing up travel between the reflections, or we're just blowing it up and saying, screw it, here's a whole other world that doesn't even play to the rules we've already established. Either way, it really opens up the universe of 14 and allows them to just go wherever they want for future.
Barrier has to fall, right? We can kind of do so much between reflections now. It's getting a bit stupid. Like they're stretching it so thin as to like, well, we could do all this, but not this. And then we've got Ukulele and his friends hanging out in the Crystarium who are like, we keep getting more dialogue. And this is kind of important that they keep adding this dialogue in. And I'm like, at this point, we can send everything but a person through the reflections really easily.
Plus, it's fascinating to me that the reflections that we have that are still just like unexplored are 4, 8, 9, 11. And in this expansion, we have Solution 9 and a Final Fantasy 11 raid. And it's like, is that going to be a part of it? Is the Final Fantasy 11 raid on the 11 show? Like, there's too much, y'all. There's too much that we can do. And I'm like, F it. Whatever it turns out to be, I'm sure I'll enjoy it. But like,
thank you, because is the one half of two people who are about to finally be current. Like the amount of times we heard, "What are you going to do after the MSQ?" I'm looking at it now, like finally catching up. Like, what aren't we going to do? There's so much stuff. Like, there's just so much stuff. I just don't like. I barely have enough jobs to go do the role quest from Endwalker. Like, there's so much game in this game.
I mean, you've done the Shadowbringers ones, right? Because they're important.
Yeah, some of them.
Although they haven't. You can always tell what's coming when they do, like, they asked at the US meeting, is like, what should we do before that? Because they think, when Graha was coming back, they were like, you guys kind of need to go and do that Alliance raid. It's got to be important, right? Hint, hint, hint. You need to go and do that. And we haven't had that yet. And I don't think they've forced people to go and do the Shadowbringers role quest, but I kind of feel they're going to be very relevant in the not too distant future.
Well, and they keep teasing a Knuckle Eye as well, and that's not even just the role quest. You got to go back and make sure you do Warring Triad and pay attention. Like,
and they've asked you to
no one can say his name.
Who?
Wait, are you baiting for Una
we say ukulele.
Yeah.
We just got a Knuckle Eye.
I called him Uncle High.
Oh,
yeah.
Ooh, nice.
We call him Old Knuckles around here.
No one can say that man's name.
No, whenever a name like that appears that's clearly just nonsense in every language, I'm like, you guys can't say it either. And I see the word ukulele. That's what he's called now for the rest of the time.
Big same. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're fantasy names.
6.2, I think, was the first time they ever actually voiced his name, and it was Una Kalhai. I'm like,
Una Kalhai. Yeah, and I was like, that is not how that's said.
An infinite amount of time I would have never gotten there.
That kid is ukulele.
They know. That's why they name these cities all this stuff. They want streamers to fail. They know it's interaction. Engagement's up every time we mispronounce things. It's beautiful. They see the numbers. And I think y'all have some cool theories, but I don't think it's deep enough in how interwoven they love to go. And
if they're doing that yet, that's kind of what they're saying, right? It's like, are we just going to use Dawntrail? My one prediction I'm pretty sure for Dawntrail is the ending is going to be the biggest blue balls since my birthday. Like, it's going to be horrible. It's going to be the worst thing ever. Because right now, they have some ideas. They're not quite sure which way it's going to go, although they're probably working on the next expansion. But it's going to be, we've set up this foundation, this nice flat concrete base. We'll see. We'll see where it goes.
Well, do you consider the ending 0.0 or 0.3? Because
I think
0. Yeah.
I think it's going to be less blue balls and more. They're going to deliver on the story they promised, which is you're going to go get the key and we'll have a new leader. I 100% by the end of 7.0, that story will be resolved. And the background will be this whole other thing that, like, well, you got, a bunch of patches to deal with that. Then that will lead to something. But I feel like 100% will be like, congrats to the new leader, and it'll be just a mess. The town will be on fire. The world will be like, but we did it, guys. We did it.
We solved the fictional world's new leader. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, that's where they're all going now. Because I don't know who the writers are they've hired over at Blizzard, but if you've played the War Within Alpha, the big story is actually in the second to last zone of the War Within. The finale zone is whatever. Like, yeah, okay, there's where the raid is. There's some shit going on, blah, blah, blah. But the thing that's really interesting that everybody wants to know about is over there. What the fuck is happening over here? And they're like, no, don't worry about that. We're going to this zone over here. It's full of spiders. Woo, scary spiders that you can turn into crabs. Ah, that's scary, right? We're like, no. What about this thing? Don't worry about that thing. That thing's okay. Don't worry about that. That'll be later on. And they're doing the same thing there. It's like, that is clearly the more interesting thing. And they're like, yeah, just carry on. Shh. It's okay.
Yeah, no, I've got a lot of... I don't think I can get on that particular boat with you, Mike. I have a lot of trust in
you've not seen Hollowfall yet.
It was probably the number one most refreshing thing about 14 when I came to it after World of Warcraft was that there was a satisfying close of a chapter at the end of the expansion they sold you. Like just in the 0.0, they told an arc every time. Was there always still trails and threads that you could go to after that? Yes. But when that first set of credits rolled in hell, even in Realm Reborn, but definitely in Heaven's Ward, Stormblood, and Shadowbringers, I felt satisfied. I was like, okay, I personally don't have to wait because I'm late to this game. I can go play 0.1 tomorrow. But if I had to wait, I would feel satisfied. And that's what always is, especially post Wrath of the Lich King, World of Warcraft. That's what always annoyed me.
I'm not saying we haven't had that for years, but we know now the writing team is gone. The ones who did that at Blizzard, for the most part, they're gone. They have a new team in. They have this. I'm giving them a chance because
no, I'm talking about Dawntrail. I don't think I'm gonna be as mad as maybe.
Oh, that's because you've not had to wait, and now you're gonna find out what that's like. Because I didn't know either. I was on your happy, naive little train where I was like, oh. And then we can all wait together and we get excited for it and it's all fun, but it's not.
If we were having this round table before Endwalker, I think we all would have been like, we're going to kill Zodiark. That'll be the end of 0.0. And instead it was like, what, level 73? No, they're going to do the same thing. We're all sitting here being like, the fight for the new leadership, that's going to be the end of it. No, that'll be done at like 81 and the world's going to explode and there'll be some other cool ending for 0.0 and it's going to be wonderful.
That's what I said. Oh, God, John.
But I was going to say, it's so funny because I never pay attention to the level that you are when you're questing because there were so many XP boosts, right? So I was like 90 for a while. So I never really pay attention to the levels. We got to Zodiark and I was like, wait, how long has it been? Am I just like not stalling or like, am I really good at the MSQ now or why?
The story.
The big bad is going? I was so confused. And everyone was like, check the quest level, and I was like, what does that mean? And I just disregarded it. I was like, what happens now? So I was gobsmacked. I'm like, what do we do?
Yeah, you know what expects the Twitter monster.
They're definitely gonna do some crazy stuff. I mean, like, that's a given. I am excited to see. I want crazy. I want to come out of this game being like, I'm not even sure I know what happened. I want it to be like Tenet. I want to watch it and be like, I spent $20. I don't even know what the hell I just saw.
$20.
Like, that's where I want to get weird with it. I want to have to like. Do I need to watch other people play? Yeah, that's where I'm at mentally.
Like FF8 crazy.
I want.
I mean, yeah, if we can.
Yeah, kind of. You have to. You totally know what you want to know what happens next. Like, you can't put it down.
I think we all need
I want
to
my $20 worth.
Collectively get ready for Ascians. And not there, like in our face giggling, but this is 100% made by an Ascian who was messing around during like the first Umbral Calamity. And then he was like, lightning, sweet, nice Calamity. Let's build a giant lightning fortress. And then he's like, oh, crap, ice Calamity. Let's freeze that chicken that keeps attacking me. And it's just going to be, and then he like went to Gaius and he was like, yo, dude, I got all. Jesse's in my head, so I'm talking like him now. But, but he's going to be there, and he's going to be like, hey, you want some technology to build some airships? Because I got drones over here blasting people. And Gaius is going to be like, yes, that's sweet. I love it. And then he's going to kill him because he comes back later. And he's like, hey, I've got some
Gaius?
They're just ignoring their emperor, who is an Ascian. They're just...
Yeah, no, because Gaius Van Belzar... Yeah. He's there.
Boy, Gaius.
Yes.
And they're like, hey, you want some more technology? He's like, you missed the last episode, and then he kills him, and that's how he gets a bunch of masks. And we're good. And we clean, and Wordle is just him being given more technology, and it's just been leaking. And really, what I really want to see is just a big axe hit a rock and there's technology under it. I love that shit. I'm such a huge fan of oops, it's fake.
That would be a twist.
I'm not even sure I know what that means. Everything you just said, what happened here? Did I have a stroke? The last thing I heard was you hit a rock and there's technology under it.
That's a base level ask. That's my base level ask.
Oh, Kyle's explaining like Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, Cabin in the Woods.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or in Westworld, you shoot the cowboy and it's an android.
Yeah.
Right.
So that happens, and that leads us to the Solution 9 thing. But
it's one of my favorite Goosebumps books.
Gotcha. Okay.
Could you imagine if they had the balls, and I don't think they have, but if they had the balls to literally create all these zones, put NPCs and shit in it, Have fucking content creators fly across the world and do whatever and fucking play around in Tulial. They got all these stupid ass names that no one can pronounce. Like, oh yeah, it's part of the aesthetic, and show job quests and show the fucking, oh, there's going to be new scripts, there's orange ones, it's fantastic. And it's all bullshit. And like at level 82, whatever, the fucking simulation powers down. There's no island. It's not fucking there. Like, just complete bollocks. They made these 3 zones and it just fucking disappears. And everyone's like, what the hell is going on? They've done all this like login screen. There's an island. It's fantastic. We're all eating tacos. We're all dancing. The lizards have got 2 heads. Isn't it amazing? And then at level 82, you like pull the hourglass out and go, pew, and fucking the whole island's just totally gone.
You wake up in Stormblood, captured by the Empire.
You're like, oh my, and Fedola's just beating the fuck out of you.
It's all a dream.
You put Ironbound in a wheelchair. Like, just completely like, whoa, the biggest bait and switch ever. The marketing's trash, right? It's got the island on it. It's like, there's no fucking island. It was never there, dummies.
I mean, it also looks like a spaceship. It's a spaceship island, so...
Yeah, fucking Hildebrand falls from the sky and is like, what are you guys doing here?
Those last 2 expansions that made you cry so much, they weren't even real, dummy.
Oh, that would be amazing. Yeah. Everyone who was so mad in Endwalker that they had to do freaking Hildebrand to get their weapon, and then you get into Dawntrail and 2 levels in, they're like, you cannot continue unless you catch up on Hildebrand. It's now MSQ. Kick rocks.
Yeah. Emmett Selk's the anagram of go fuck yourself. But I was just talking about Dawntrail specifically, not the rest of the game. Just like the Tulial Island. But that would be so ballsy to have these guys make these zones, because it's like they didn't actually strip out any of the NPCs, Jesse.
The promise of a thrilling journey. The promise.
Yeah.
The promise suggests a broken promise.
I would like that is gutsy, and I like it, a hell of a lot. That is gutsy shit, and I want to. That's crazy stuff.
I think the last line of the trailer is going to be key to a major plot point, which is when the character, the enigmatic maiden, whatever her name is, she literally says something along the lines of like, yo, we had to make a tough choice. Could you have done better? I feel like that's a big clue as to what the actual Solution 9 is. Probably they sacrificed a bunch of something or other.
Who's the guy having a good time in the Golden Mist?
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, who the hell is that dude?
You paused it earlier, and Alice's face was just there behind his shoulder as well. It was...
Well, there's also a whole plot point. If you did the Eureka stuff, there's also a whole plot point about Kryle's grandfather hanging out in Tyrol, doing a whole thing there. Possibly her parents involved, which made people be like, yo, is that her parents running into the portal? I don't know if that's the case, but there's a whole thing. Like, who knows what the hell this is going to be? Like,
when was the last time Erenvel was there? Do we know that? I don't know.
I think
when he was a kid.
Oh,
I think he goes back and forth as a gleaner, right? Like,
I'm not sure if he's been there recently. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Like with the theories, is like, when was the last time Erenvel was there? And I'm not that detailed on my lore to know the answer to that question.
That's why
I'm not sure, but I'm sus. I think Erenville is going to turn into Eren Villain. Yeah, I said it.
Oh no, he's too
sassy. Narrating the expansion. Okay, that's also sus. Okay. I don't know if the MSQ gave me trust issues, but
they do not mess with
Eren Villain.
Jordan, and you know that. And
everyone in the game is a
making him a villain would make him better. Look at Emmett. Any villain.
Eren Villain's a bad boy.
I do feel like there's gonna be a considerable number of villains. They're gonna throw a bunch. Like, I'm convinced the cat boy who's like the machinist cat boy, that guy is gonna end up halfway through like, I was just trying to help, and so he's gonna end up being the bad guy because he's stupid. And then the one guy who's like, I only have one head, which makes me doubly evil. And then the guy with 2 heads, that guy's monster fodder. We're losing him early. He's not gonna live through level 83.
Oh no, because he's the known racist. They said that.
Oh,
like,
that guy's
in the description is like, this is the 2-headed guy. He's a racist.
That guy's super dead.
What do you call them? Filthy one-heads? They're like, because you're inferior with your one head.
Oh, hold on. Ramsa's still alive, so racism does not mean they're writing you out of the game.
True.
Yeah,
but he's bad because bad racist man. He's got to go. He's out of it.
And I feel like sticking with the tropes, Waklamot's going to be like, I've discovered the truth of this whole situation, and that's going to bring the whole system down, and it's not going to end well for anyone. And we're going to be like, We did it again. We messed with the political affairs of an entire nation, and it turns out everything turned out terribly for all of us. That's
the story of Final Fantasy is the protagonist should never get involved because it infinitely gets worse. In every Final Fantasy game, they should never. Anything we find should just be like the latest Heaven on High they made. It was like, hey, there's this door that's sealed up. Let's open it. No, just leave it alone. Just leave it alone and everything would be fine. And the same with the Crystal Tower. It's like, oh, we can break in here with blood from the king. Like, no, just leave it be and everything will be fine.
Do you think that's why in every cutscene our character stands there and watches the world around them crumble before doing anything? Because they're like, should I feel like I'm just going to make this worse.
I just want to make sure that I wasn't the cause of what's currently happening before I involve myself. Yeah. They should switch it up. They should switch it up in Dawntrail. They should make it Raiders, where it doesn't matter if the main character's there. The events would have played out exactly the same.
Yeah, but they do morally gray so well. Like, not as a meme on WoW or anything, but they do that really well. Like, Emmett was really sympathetic. You understood his cause, right? Whether you agree with it or not, what made Emmett so good is that you can see his point. He wants fucking friends back. Like, half his people died. He wants them back, and he doesn't care about who came afterwards. I would be really interested if somebody who's very naive, and clearly Wigglemat is very naive and young and passionate, if she does find out a dirty secret or whatever behind being the Dawn servant, is like forced to be like, I kind of need to bury this as well, because I understand why. I would love to see that angle. It's kind of like that. Do you ever see the Doctor Who episode where they're flying the whale and they keep stabbing it to keep it going? I don't know if you guys have seen that, but they all universally agree to forget because they believe it keeps them alive, even though they're torturing this animal over and over again. And I'd be really interested if they go with a route like that with someone who's clearly so, hey, Wigglemat, I'm amazing. Let's go be the Dawn servant, guys. Like, and then the reality sets in is like, oh, this fucking sucks.
Yeah, what does this actually consist of?
But it keeps my people alive. Like, it's literally the only reason we're still alive is because of the secret.
Also, I don't know, but I feel like the fact that Wigglemat says, I'm going to be the Dawn servant no less than 3 times in that trailer, I don't know that Wigglemat's going to be the Dawn servant. You know?
No, she shouldn't be. she's probably dead. Like, Wigglemat is not suited to be a leader, from what I could tell. My limited interaction, I don't think she should be in charge of a can of beans. I don't think so. I think she should be out playing and going to the club and having a good time.
You can't eat spicy food.
She reminds me of Lise a little bit, though.
Yes.
She's like, she reminds me a little bit of Lise. You know, that like naivety in Stormblood. That's good. I'm a Lise advocate.
I'm post Stormblood Lise. No, I'm not pro Lise.
But she turns into
I don't know what's going on here. She's been a Scion for like 7 years. A good heart. Shut up. She's not. She's 2 steps from Instagram. She's
tired. All right, tired is Lise sucks. Wired is Lise should be remade a Scion again and be made much more important.
Agree.
Lise a Scion
Later
again,
Lise is better.
Oh,
they rewrote her later.
Oh yeah, completely.
Yeah. Later Lise is not the Lise that starts Stormblood, who's been a Scion for 7 years and is like, I didn't know people could be bad. This is weird. It's like
she was living in the shadow of her sister, and she had to make her way as her own person.
Yeah, but she acts like she's never been outside of her front door at the beginning of Stormblood. Like,
well, who has?
She also had Papolino smacking her down every time she tried to like.
You get beat up by a Lalafell, you don't deserve shit. All right, if you're getting your ass kicked by a Lala.
I'm going to parlay this into a question that I saw in our Discord, because that's one of my answers is I would like to see more of Lise, because I'm just in this camp of, you literally spent an entire expansion developing this character, and then you just kind of didn't do anything else with her. But
she deserves to come back for sure.
A question for the table: is there a plot thread that hasn't been addressed you're dying to see addressed?
I could think it's worth asking the question. I don't know what you guys think. Oh, I can't say that. You haven't finished 6.5. Fuck.
Old?
I kind of think I know what you're talking about.
Do you think so?
Sorry, this was meant to be a media tour episode, and then it just got closer and closer to launch.
There's no way of me doing this without spoiling it for you, so I'm gonna leave it alone.
And that's the question that's been burning inside you for a long time.
Actually, since 6.5.
Interesting.
Something about 6.5. Okay.
I mean, if we're gonna talk about So I think I know what you're referring. You guys have done the end of Pandemonium, right?
Yes.
So you know the wrap up with the Ultima and all that stuff.
Yes. The Heart of Sebi.
I think that's a thread they could pull on more. They gave us an answer. It's done. I feel like there's something there. But I think the most obvious one is they've given us 10 years of Maricidia and we're still not in Maricidia. I feel like we have to do that at some point and go there, especially considering we know so much about it, but like, nah, we'll get there. So we'll get there eventually, I think.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I saw the Heart of Sebi as like a big wink and a nod, like this will come back later.
Show, yeah. I feel like the Heart of Sabik in that whole bit is something that I think is important, and they finally gave us at least information on what it was. Does that make any sense? Or they were like, yeah, no, this is some like eldritch horror shit. So we'll come back to that, which I'm totally fine for. But yeah, there's a bunch of different things. Honestly, there's so many places on the map that are just cloud cover still. That I'm like, we could go there, we could do that. There's tons of stuff that we could get into. But like, if you're looking for character specific, like who should we bring back or what should we do? I think they wrapped up everything fairly well that I don't need anyone. Like I'm not.
Are you the same vibe with me with Gosetsu? Like Gosetsu comes and goes, right? And I'm totally okay with it. I'm excited when he arrives, and when he leaves, it's all good and it's no problem. Like I love that they do that with certain characters instead of having this like Avengers level cast who are always need to be involved. And I never worry that like they're just forgetting about that character. They're like, we can't miss you till you go away. Like you need to go away and come back. You're not part of the Scions.
That's how I'm starting to feel about the Scions, because I really liked the crew in Stormblood, and I know they show up in the roll calls we haven't done yet, but like I want them in voice actor cutscenes. So,
do you think Gaius is ever going to be voice acted again? Because they did get that. Can't remember his name. He got the Game of Thrones actor, right? Like that's costly. And that really sucks because
there's no more Game of Thrones for him to do.
I assume he has more than one acting job, I would guess. I'll check now.
That's fair. I mean, it wasn't like
the question is like a lot of those characters. So Lise is like, I am going to go run this nation. And Gaius is like, I'm going to try to bring back Werlet and do this whole thing. I got kids to raise now. Like it seems even Gosetsu and Tenzin and all the different threads we have, everyone's like, I'm going to do a thing and it's going to be to help this nation become better. And that could be, they do this often. We just go back, say hi. Hey, you guys good? Okay, cool. And we leave. The only one I can really think of is probably Ukulele and all those dudes over on the first, because they literally are like, we have to return to the 13th. That's the only one.
That has to be resolved at some point, and maybe that's 8.0, is that we have this one place that's full of dark, we have this one place that's full of light, we can kind of move things in between. Like, so, that's something they've been hinting at now for 2 expansions, right? Because it starts in Shadowbringers with all that, and they definitely want to get Reen involved somehow because people love that character. But she's kind of trapped for now. But I'm sure they're gonna do. That's the threads that I think they're holding in reserve of like, yeah, we know you want this. It is going to be important, but it needs to be done right because it kind of feels now they should balance the 13th and the first out. Why is that not happening yet? Is because they have all the tools seemingly to make that happen. So I'll be kind of curious as to when they're going to resolve that and whether this is the setup for something like that.
Yeah, maybe the stuff we've gotten so far, the stuff that these guys have done in the 13th, and spoilers maybe, maybe that's all we're getting for a while. And they're just like, look, this is the story we want to tell for the 13th right now, and we'll come back to it in like 5 years. I have no clue. Who knows what the hell they're doing?
That's what I'm hinting at with my burning question, is they spend a lot of Endwalker setting stuff up, and then they're like, all right.
I mean, that's a safe move, though, because then you have your break glass moment. You know, you can do this whole Dawntrail thing. You can be excited about Cyberpunk Westworld and ride your passions and then go, whoops. Oh, okay. But that's why I'm saying they still need to work in. They're going to work in the Calamities. They're going to have a bunch of old Ascian. I don't think any Ascian's going to show up giggling, but they're still going to make sure it's deeply tied into what's going on.
I mean, everything is. At the end of the day, it's Ascians all the way down. Like, it's just what it is.
Literally the progenitor, right? Like, they are what came before. I'm curious, Jordan, is there any threads for you? You're dying to see them pull on again?
I feel like I'm going to give the most boring answer ever, but I am questioning a lot of the shards of the sundered Ascians, and there are some Ascians that we haven't even seen yet. I think there's one particular Ascian that's not been seen at all. I saw this really cool Twitter picture that had all of the Ascians, their stones, and then there were where they're referenced and what happened to them. And I went down a deep rabbit hole of that. And then there's one particular Ascian which has not been accounted for at all, like I said. And then the shards of the other ones as well that are still kind of existing, potentially. And then also, even with Azem, there's a lot of Dawn references, right? I think it's that stone that's the sun and signifies a lot of that. So there's still a lot of hints and clues that the Ascians are still going to be playing some kind of part.
Would you be annoyed if there was no Ascian stuff? Do you think it's needed? Do you know what I mean? Like, is
probably
it
not needed?
Integral, or is that something that you're okay if they put that to bed with the Hydaelyn Zodiac's arc, as they keep calling it?
I think that's probably going to depend on how long you've been playing. So I feel like because I've only been doing the MSQ for a year, right? I've condensed the 10-year story in a year. I'm still quite invested in the Ascians, but I feel like if you've gone on your journey for much longer than that, you might be ready to call it quits. Like, I'm bored of the Ascians now. It's all we've been talking about. We are on to the next chapter. Let's see what else there is. So I can understand that. But for me, I'm still kind of invested in them. I still find them really interesting.
From a business standpoint, do you think it matters to them, considering how popular like the costumes and cosplay are of Ascians, to keep them relevant to the story? Like, do you know from that perspective, rather than pure from a storytelling standpoint, is if you look at any of the cosplay competition stuff, huge amounts of people are dressed as Ascians. They like it. It's simple. They make a lot of money off that. It's like Y'shtola stuff, right? Like, Y'shtola is the biggest art seller of Final Fantasy XIV. And although Y'shtola has quote unquote died like 19 times and always fucking gimmicks her way out of it, it's like, I can teleport now, and now I've got no clothes on, and Alfie's painting me and all that kind of shit. Then they're not getting rid of Yish under any circumstance, even though they ditch her for it. Like in Stormblood, she just disappears for the entire expansion, and like it doesn't matter, we're not getting rid of her, she's just busy right now, and then she'll come back when we need her. Do you think like the Ascians is so relevant,
I think,
to that side of the business, they keep them involved?
I think so, but I also hope they give it a break. Kyle and I have talked about it, and I've said that I hope they take like an expansion or two off from like overly heavily Ascian stuff, like
something new.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting like a full cat reset in this one. I don't know if you've noticed in the trailer, Graha is waving goodbye to us on the ship. Stola's nowhere to be seen for most of it. I imagine they'll show up in the second half, right? Like one of those like, we're here to help kind of vibes. But the first half is going to be a complete new cat boy that the dads are with, and like, we really want you to like walk Lamont. There's going to be like new cats for everyone, everybody. So even though people love doing Ascian cosplay, I'm convinced everyone's memory lasts only as long as the next hot character. And so if a new hottie comes along, they're like, we all see people dressed up like, I'm Emmett, I'm sexy Emmett. That wasn't a thing in Stormblood, you know what I mean? So like, it is, the next sexy one will come along, people be like, ooh. So I feel like even though I often give WoW a hard time of being like, you guys just keep making new characters every 5 minutes, it's ridiculous. 14 does the same thing. They're just much better at hiding it. So they're absolutely going to be like, here's a bunch of new hotties, enjoy, kids. And then people are going to show up dressed as the new hottie, and then they'll be like, next time, even more beautiful people. It's going to happen.
As long as they don't, one thing I hope they don't do in Dawntrail is the clear red shirt at the start of the expansion, right? Like they do that every single time, as they're like, here's clearly an important character, and here's Bill. You're like, hello. And he gets immediate character development, and you're like, oh, Bill.
I'm telling you, it's the two-headed guy. It's the two-headed guy. He's going to be like, I'm the racist evil one. Dead. 3 levels in. Convinced of this.
Yeah, they do it every time. It's like, shit, Bill. Bad day for you. It's like, let's spend time with him immediately. Like, not looking good. They've done that the last, I think from Stormblood onwards, they've done that, is introduced you to someone very early, and they're like, oh, shit, this guy's doomed.
Who is it, Nedwalker?
And they come and stand next to a beach and give you a speech. I hate that. It happens all the time in 14. Is the quote unquote goodbye speech. Is what terrified me the most in. I think it's Endwalker. You know where Shirtless Justinian is, where you can have the dinner and you can choose them individually. I was like, oh my god, they're killing all the Scions. They're fucking killing them all. We get this like really passionate 1-to-1 with each of them. And I'm like, oh, this actually set me up way worse for them to all die. I was like, oh, this is how it ends. They're giving us this private moment with them all. Uh-oh, we're screwed.
I wonder going forward if everyone is going to be safe.
Oh, yeah. Their plot armor is real thick at this point.
Well, because they've had a lot of plot armor, so maybe they could turn around and be like, right, that's it, we've had enough. I don't know.
They can't do the tease again where they all disappear. That's happened twice now. And it's
yeah.
In Endwalker, I was like, okay, dude. No. No one's buying this, like, under any circumstances. Ain't no way. I think if they survive what they survived.
The ballsiest thing they could possibly do, and I know everyone would hate it, is kill one of the twins.
Oh,
that would be like
my soul.
Right? That would be like the deepest cut to everyone if they were like one of the twins dies. Like any of the other Scions, I could see people being like, oh, that's terrible, but like it will make it through. You kill one of the twins, I couldn't even imagine what would happen.
I hated the twins through. I always liked Alizé, and I was really annoyed in Around Reborn when she disappears. I was like, where the fuck is Alizé? Because I'm stuck with this nerd, and I hate this kid.
I know
this kid fucking sucks. Yeah, I was like, this kid will not leave me alone. He sucks. I hate him. His sister seemed way more fun. And then I hated him in Heaven's Ward. And then I remember when I completely switched was Endwalker, when they put the collars on them, the shock collars. And when that scene happened, I literally just blurted out loud without my breathing. It's like, I will burn everybody alive in this room if you fucking hurt those two.
That's what I'm saying.
And then it dawned on me, is like, what's happened? I hated this guy so much. But when that happened, I was like, I will fucking kill you all. A genocide is on the menu. Take those collars off right now. But no, that would be brutal. Who would you choose?
No matter who, it's gonna suck. You kill Alizé, you piss off every Alizé fan. You kill Alphino, all of his character growth as a person gone, wasted, which would be the most brutal one. And Alizé would flip her shit.
Alizé would become a villain. Like, just like the next.
Oh, that would be fun.
Like,
an Alizé that becomes a villain that you love and you've seen her descend. God, that's good storytelling if they nail it.
Plus, all of her speeches are fire. Every time she yells at a villain, so to have her yell at you would be so good.
Yeah, because you would feel like Obi-Wan at that point. Like you would really feel like Obi-Wan. Like, oh come on, you were so good. How did this happen?
I could see them doing a villain arc where they don't die way more likely than actually killing off a Scion at this point. I'm of two minds. I don't think it's not that kind of story. Like they don't. They were doing it a little bit in A Realm Reborn into Heaven's Ward, but they don't roll out deaths for shock value a la Game of Thrones or Walking Dead.
No, there are times that should have died.
Plenty of times.
Yeah. And every time I bring this up, there's somebody who's like, oh, they're just killing characters for fun. I was like, no. Like there's I always bring up Thancred should have died in Shadowbringers.
Yeah,
he should have died in that fight with Ranji. It was perfect.
That was when I realized they weren't killing main characters.
Correct.
Anymore.
This is not happening.
Because Moonbrita really surprised me, and I grabbed onto that character pretty quick. And then Ysayle was another one. I was like, shit, I really like that character. This sucks. Like I'm sad that she's gonna. It was good writing. I like the story, but as a fan, I was like, damn, I want to hang out with that character more. And then I was kind of like waiting. I kind of expected like, oh wow, yeah, they build strong characters and you hang out with them for a while and they're not afraid of taking them away. And then when Thancred didn't die, I was like, oh, they're done. Okay.
Yeah, not the Scions. The Scions are safe.
Yeah. Oh, they're completely like they literally even just thinking of them mechanically. Thancred is the sassy tank. We have Y'shtola, sassy DPS, who's the mage. You would be like, oh, the easiest one to kill would be Urianger. No, that man explains so much story. You'd be out of your mind to remove him from the plot. The twins you can't take out. Graha, fans would just quit the game. Never happens.
Fuck that. Graha lives.
Uninstall.
Absolutely right.
Kryl finally gets a story. Like none of them, they're all safe. It's not even a worry. They're all going to be fine. But it's very funny to me that it's just like, but what if?
Yeah,
they did.
Because I'd be so down for it, like, because it would hurt. But it's I know the investment there would be terrible. Because I mean, if this point, never say never, right? At this point, they've survived so much that we're all like, the silence is saving. And then if it actually happened, I'd be like, oh my God, it actually happened. And I'd be devastated and surprised. And it'd be great if they tell it right, which I trust them to do. That's not for the sake of killing someone. If it's right and it feels right and their story is done. Because what they can't do now is start retconning people's past stories. This is something we talked about recently, is like, Urianger's kind of wrapped up. We've concluded with Moonbreeder's parents. He's come full circle. He's telling us he's not going to be telling us little white lies anymore for the greater good and all that bullshit that he's always pulling. He's like, I'm a grown up now. I'm not going to do that. And I was like, oh, cool. He could become like the new Watcher or something like that. Like that would fit him so well to move away from the Scions. And Dankred's story's kind of wrapped up. Reen's living her life. She's doing a good thing. Minfilia's moved on. It was like, okay, they're kind of free now, and we can't retcon something. If we've done all this stuff with Moonbreeder, you can't throw in Jelly, who was also in Urianger's life, who we've never heard of in the past 8 years, and she's here now. You know, like the dog that turns up in The Simpsons, right? It's like, they've always been here. Like, they can't do that now. So there's times and a place for some to move away and new ones to come in.
Yeah.
But the ones that are there, they all have a function. Right? They all add something mechanically to the story that's like, this person does this, and so you need them. I imagine if there ever becomes a point where we don't need that anymore, then they'll cycle people out. But I imagine it'll be more like Lys than it is they died.
Yeah,
like you were saying, might be a Watcher or whatever. Yeah,
sunset them off in a nice way where they, especially if the voice actor retires. Like, although they swapped a lot in A Realm Reborn, if the voice actor for Y'shtola or anybody decided not to work anymore, that's probably a good time to try and sunset that character rather than replace them again, right? Do you know what I mean? Because it wouldn't be #not my Y'shtola, right? That's not mine anymore. Yeah, I can see
unless
that
they
happening.
get someone with a similar voice, which I think you've seen.
It won't be the same.
Or it won't be the same, no.
I can tell.
Yeah.
Sounds like Dead Kryl to me. We just breezed over that. That's Dead Kryl energy.
Oh, Kryl is pod.
No.
Kryl's didn't do fine.
Getting to like engage in combat. I would be so mad.
But she doesn't have a role.
She
doesn't have a role, you know. Because she's expendable.
She does now.
And what? I mean,
the first half, she's Y'shtola-ing this whole thing. Y'shtola and G'raha are not going to be in the first half of this game. They're going to be like, don't worry about it. Go have fun, you crazy kids. We'll be over here studying. And then they'll come and be like, we found some crazy information. It's the most important information we've ever found in our entire lives. And then you'll be like, okay, come on, let's do this. Yeah.
I can't believe you've not played 6.5. Like,
unless Kryl replaces Y'shtola. Like Y'shtola.
Well, how does Estinian get there? Because he's not mentioned yet.
I have no comments.
I have no comment either.
I have no comments.
I also have no comment on this.
Okay.
But
I mean,
however it's done,
as the main
it's
character.
hilarious. Estinian is just a great character in general.
Listen, the important thing is they finally put 2 Lalafels in a trench coat, and it's here on this tablet in the trailer they made.
It all checks out.
And all the checks out.
It's done.
If you would have continued with the variant dungeons, you would discover the true origin of Lalafels. It's beautiful.
A portal.
Magic portal.
Right there.
To a digital
in
world
the trailer
where they're
again.
all little tiny bits.
Digimon are the champions.
That would suck if it was all Digimon. I'd be so upset. Although the theme song was good, so it's fine. But I'd be pissed if it was like, actually, everyone's a Digimon. I'm like, cool.
As it turns out.
We're in a pocket universe. They Men in Blackers, you know, with the marble.
Oh no.
Oh jeez. Oh my god.
That'd be cool. But I'm glad they're showing the do you think they needed to show the conflict? Because we all knew something was coming.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're gonna do a trailer, you have to make a trailer exciting. I mean, at the end of the day.
Yeah, but every other trailer didn't have anything in it until the launch one. And then they were like, okay, yeah, here's the stuff. Like, even at the media tour, they kept everything away from us. Everything.
It's been kind of the vibe, though, is all the launch trailers, like, throw you in. And there's, like, Endwalker launch trailer was, they did, like, oh, no, it's going to get crazy. And they didn't explain to you in what way, but they were like, oh, don't worry. It's much weirder than you think. Same thing with Shadowbringers, even Stormblood's launch trailer. They've just gotten better at making trailers since the end of Shadowbringers. When they did the patch trailers, they just keep getting better at making them. And I'm here for it. I'm here for a little bit of like, ooh, is that a spoiler? Okay, just never again Emmett Selk me. Just don't ever do that again, please.
How are you gonna play
so
it?
Spoilery. This
is a streamer question, but like this is a question. I almost was gonna bench Dawntrail for 6 months before I started playing it because obviously FF14 is very different to any other MMO because the story is so careful. Is that everyone wants to watch you play it, but not until they've done it. Like, that's absolutely not what people want to do. And I was always surprised. Like, when Endwalker launched, I was by far #1 in the category because I was the only one not playing Endwalker. I was playing, like, Heavensward at the time or something. I was like, what the hell is going on? Compared to all the MMO launches I've ever had, they're like, it's the busiest the Twitch stream's ever been. Like, it's all that. And then FF14 was like, the lowest it's ever been. Endwalker just came out. Nobody's watching.
Everyone wants to play. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they want to experience it themselves before they go through you. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to touch it I'm giving myself 7 days. I'll play some Picto, I'll play some Viper, level some stuff, and do those new leveling stories, because we didn't get to do those at the media tour. I got to play them, but we didn't get any of the story of the characters.
Right.
And then a week I'll start the MSQ, and that's going to be an awful week. That's going to be a really rough 7 days, because everyone's going to be like, I know. I know what's going on.
Well, you're going to be right back where you started when you started playing. Like, it's just a reset. It's the reset of your role in this community.
Half of my team has booked time off for Dawntrail release because they know I'm not going to play it. They don't need to do anything, and they've all booked time off. They're like, we're taking 10 days off, so they can all play it.
I feel like a lot of people have done that.
Yeah. Kyle and I were originally thinking like wait forever and like really take our sweet time with Endwalker, but then as we realized, we were getting at least within spitting distance of the end, and it was kind of lining up with Dawntrail. We're like, okay, let's see if we can make this happen, because otherwise, it would feel weird to kind of only be late by like 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. We always do like a summer break in July, and so this is launching like right before it. So we were like, what if we just did one of the starting zones, and then we went on our summer break and just we got to enjoy the hype of the launch. So we're gonna do one of the 2 starting zones 2 days after the public launch, not early access.
Hell is a summer break, like in school?
Yeah, a vacation.
Yeah, holiday.
What?
I'm leaving with my wife, not my internet wife, which is Kyle, but my actual wife. And going to the Florida Keys, and I'm going to not play games for a little while. It's
outrageous. The last vacation I took, I missed 3 events. It sucked.
Oh yeah, the timing of.
Oh, shut up, you. Yeah. I was sat there like trying to enjoy the sun, like, oh, all my friends are doing shit.
I'm curious, what's your plan, Jordan? Because you're in a similar boat as Kyle and me, and you're a little newer to 14.
Yeah, I'm kind of newer to like content creation and streaming in general as well. So this will be like my first expansion launch and my first time as like a streamer / content creator, as I said. So I'm like, what do I do? How does it work? Because even in WoW, I don't really watch streams or anything. So like when expansions launch, I just play. I'm just a fan and a viewer. So
right.
A fan and a player. So I think I'm going to wait just because, we spent this whole journey with everyone. It would feel weird to not do that. So I'm going to wait, give everyone a chance to play themselves and then also not be spoiled. So I think I'll give it at least a week and then go into the MSQ. That seems to be the general consensus. I know, like everyone's going to wait and then everyone's going to start at the same time.
Bunch of streamers on a round table about a game that we're not going to play.
That's not true.
It's a weird dynamic as well because of the story.
No, we're going to be busy with extremes. We got role quests to do. We got that Kryle's Grand.
Have you done Hildy yet?
Baking adventure.
We did the Realm Reborn Hildy, and my throat was so sore after reading all of that.
You have
a lot of energy.
So many hours of content to get through.
Oh my god!
Very
playing
aware.
The game. Got stuff to do.
Hildy's a ride. He's a good dude. Is Hildy? I love Hildy. He's a love-hate relationship, from what I can tell by a lot of people.
Yeah, everyone keeps saying that, and I was like, why is it a love-hate relationship? And I started playing it, and I was like, oh, this is pure silly. This is right up my street. I like love it. Yeah.
No, it's all about Brandahild. Hildebrand trash. Brandahild the best.
You're not.
You don't know what that means, and I love that for you. So
you're not getting out of this, Jesse. What's your plan for streaming Dawntrail?
Man, I like every single release they ever do. I'm traveling for most of it, so I'll be in Chicago, then I come back, and then I go. I'm at the end of the month. I'm traveling over to their neck of the woods. So I'm literally just like, I'll fit it in where I fit it in, but I'm not gonna. There's no way I'm gonna finish it in any sort of reasonable time. And if I do, it's a fluke. I just had like a couple days.
What do we stink? What?
I gotta film an FMV game. You can come to me.
You're coming over here, and I gotta come to you.
I want to be in the woods in the middle of nowhere. I don't know where I'm going.
Oh God! Finding a piece of paper on the floor. What is this?
It's the killer.
I'll come down and see it. That'll be fun.
It's gonna be good times. So, but like, I don't know. I imagine, just like Preach was saying, I'm gonna straight up spend the first X number of days leveling Viper and Picto, decide which one I want to play that, and then get distracted halfway through, start leveling up Red Mage, and be like, well, I'm gonna level up both of these two to the end, and then it'll take me forever to get to the end. But like, I'm in no rush. I don't think anyone should be in a rush. I think probably the Grinding Gears guys have it the easiest, where it's like, we do a show this day and this day. Tune into those 2 days, and we're going to play it then. So at least you have set up a standard of when to watch. So no one can expect you to plow through it, because like, no, we're doing it then.
If you remember, back when we were really being accused of stalling, we were only MSQing one of those 2 days.
I'm aware. And you were stalling. I don't get you were MSQing, but you were stalling.
You know how long it takes to make a video. You know how long.
I mean in the video, in the actual stream.
How many YouTube videos did you watch?
25-minute conversation.
Yeah.
Oh no, we don't stall by watching YouTube videos. We stall by talking about anime with our chat.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Although they did ruin Endwalker for me. You nailed it so perfectly. It is 100% Sailor Moon.
True.
I have no part of this. That's all Kyle.
Now that I know this, I'm like, it really is just the whole final act is Sailor Moon, and I'm blown away by it. I like went and watched Sailor Moon. I was like, this can't be real. This can't be real. It is. It literally is Sailor Moon. It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Don't do it, Jay. Stay pure.
Have you not seen it?
No. Well, I did. When I was really young and didn't really know what I was watching.
Oh yeah,
gotcha. I liked it was pretty.
Give those last 3 episodes another watch. Just give them another little watch. The Sailor Scouts sacrifice
This is not even a joke.
One at a time.
They just were like, we really like Sailor Moon, and now we're gonna make the last act of this story Sailor Moon. It is jarring to me. It blew me. I was like, I hate that I have this knowledge. It's like cursed eldritch horror. I've seen it now. I'm like, the universe is a different place to me.
Kyle, it just hit me. Like, we're doing a terrible job, like guerrilla promoting the channel. You need to make a video just about explaining how Endwalker is Sailor Moon, so that everyone else can react to it and learn that we exist.
I just need to get an animator to do Emmett Silk throwing a rose perfectly right there onto the field before it takes over all the media on space.
We'll see if Crystal's available. Crystal's work has been insane lately.
And then we need to Preach react to it.
No.
Oh, it's so bad. I hate it.
It's cursed knowledge. Do not. I'm warning you.
Living in happy ignorance. I'm good. I'll live in happy ignorance until my dying day. I'm all good.
Oh,
I've tried enough anime to know it's not for me.
That is fantastic.
No, I'm staying pure. It's not happening.
I'm like that decrepit old man with the book who's like, don't look inside. It will change you forever. I'm warning you. I'm the start of the horror game. Yeah. I'm the start of the horror game. I'm the guy who's like, please don't do this. Yeah.
You don't want to go down that rod. No. Down that road is death.
Oh yeah, that's you should go down that road. That's where death is. That's me. I'm the guy in the swamp.
Yep, exactly.
There's trouble down there.
What was it in Cabin in the Woods? You're the Harbinger. Yeah.
You better watch
Sailor
out. That
Moon.
cabin's got a whole facility under it.
It's a trope
There's
machine.
unicorns and snakes and centaurs, all sorts of shit down there.
All
See,
right, so-
why is it always schoolgirls? I Google Sailor Moon, 95 pictures of schoolgirl.
I mean,
Final
Sailor
Fantasy
Moon is
14.
kind of the reason it's a trope. Like Sailor Moon's like the original.
Oh, there's so are they a troop of sailors, or
Well,
they look like a
yes.
cheerleading squad?
They
Where's the
are definitely
boats?
sailors
Boats.
on the
I
moon.
don't see any boats. Are they pirates?
No, she's a moon princess reborn. The outfit's not important.
They have moon powers.
The
it's
outfit
fine.
looks important.
Magical pirate moon sailor girls.
Listen, the Bad Queen enchants the makeup to make everyone insane. And they fight that. They protect us from that.
So we've also ruined Resident Evil because also Sailor Moon is kind of Resident Evil. So, yeah.
Are you sure?
Don't know what.
The evil pharmaceutical or cosmetics company. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I can see how you got there. Man who hasn't watched much Sailor Moon, I see how you got there.
Question. Is everything Sailor Moon?
When did it come out?
They still
Are we about to
Digimon.
find out that
Is
all
Lord
media
of
is
the
Sailor Moon?
Rings Sailor Moon? Tolkien, why? Why did he do this?
When are we sailing on the moon?
I mean, I wasn't.
1991 it came out.
Yeah. I mean, I was in Bible study the same time that Sailor Moon was in syndication in the States. And let me tell you, there's some similarities, you know?
Resident Evil's 96. Sailor Moon predates it.
Damn.
It's getting weird, man.
But why was Albert Wesker dressed as a cheerleader?
All right, so we're officially in Anime Town, which means I think before we get to the other topic that always comes up when Jesse's here, which is Fast and the Furious, we should probably bring this discussion to a close.
Probably, because I'm about to ask why you like Resident Evil but not anime, but I think we're done.
But
Is
I do like
Fast
anime.
and Furious Sailor Moon?
Is there a family in Sailor Moon?
Sailor Moon.
They were all family, those sailors.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, yeah. Yeah, which by
like
the way, when
Resident
you
Evil,
were talking about sunsetting scions and not killing them, I almost blurted out like Paul Walker in Fast and the Furious because they didn't kill him off. They just gave
Been a
him
long road.
Yeah. Yep. And with that in mind, around the table, I'll try and go in order of the overlay. Jordan, where can folks find you if they're not already aware?
I am okay made on everything, I think. Yeah, consistency.
Show off.
Yeah,
Well done.
I'm jealous. You do have consistency across everything. Yeah, you stream on Twitch. You got a Twitter.
Yeah, on Twitch. Trying to sort YouTube out. But yeah, mostly on Twitch. Every weekday.
Well, thanks for coming by. Everyone go check out OK Mage. Preach, what about yourself?
Mainly streaming on Preach LFW. Which is a terrible name that Twitch won't let me change. But we're currently doing Warhammer Summer. I recently discovered Warhammer 40k. So we're doing Warhammer Summer. And yes, I thought it was too nerdy as a kid because I was into professional wrestling and GoldenEye on the N64. Those Warhammer kids, those guys are fucking nerds.
Weirdos, man.
Those guys are fucking real nerds. But I recently discovered 40k and I'm having a blast with it. So we're doing Warhammer Summer right now, which is great. But on YouTube, but Google Preach, you'll find me. There you go.
That's the best promotion of your channel. You know, I thought Warhammer was too nerdy. I don't know. Watch my stream.
Yeah. We're having fun. Look, the Emperor's here. He's over there. He's chilling.
Fantastic.
The Emperor of Man's here now. We're playing Mechanicus right now. We just did Space Marine 1 and Dawn of War 1, which was really good. And now we're doing Mechanicus. But we're going to play like, I don't know, 8 or 9 probably Warhammer games over the summer. It's good.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Nice. Internet's own Jesse Cox. Where can folks find you on the internet?
Boy, my branding's terrible. That's why I purchased jessecox.com. All the links are there. Enjoy. Find the 12 podcasts I do and all the things I'm a part of and all the links. Enjoy. Have fun. It literally is just a link tree, but I just bought jessecox.com because I didn't want that male model to have it. He's gorgeous. He can't have everything. All right?
Googling. My last two Googles are Sailor Moon and Jesse Cox model.
I'm telling you, he's beautiful, and I'm upset about although if you type in Jesse Cox model, it's my picture. I've never been a happier man in my entire life. Yes.
Oh, from the Yogscast wiki.
Kyle,
cool.
I can see your stream and I can see that you're doing this Google search right now. And I was just like, that is bold, but I realized the stream can't see it.
Yeah, no, it's still here. I was told to do it. I do it.
Yep.
Nice. Well, we're grinding here on YouTube. We can't change our YouTube URL. So it's actually youtube.com/amovetv because we can't change that. But we're grinding here on YouTube. You can just find us on there. And if you want to go the extra mile, we, of course, have supportourbromance.com. So go check that out. But that's going to bring us to the end of this edition of the MMO Roundtable. Who knows when we'll do another one? It sounds like when we're done with 655 so that Mike can not be mad that he can't talk about his one specific theory today.
It's a big theory, though. It's girthy. It's thick. Yeah, it's got some juice to it. Juicy.
And for the live stream, that is the end of the official recording. To our guests, you can dip whenever you want. We're going to hang and chat with chat for a little bit. Thank you all
guys.
for joining us.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
9:00 at night. I should see my family.
It sounds good. Everything's about to break, everyone.
Yeah. Huge thank you, especially to our guests in other time zones for making this work. Thank you so much for
see Sailor Moon.
Thanks for,
See you later, guys.
Have a good night.
Thanks again.
Right there, it all goes.
Cosplay. Sailor Moon when?
Oh.
That's my question.
Oh no.
That is a good question.
Bye.
See you, Jordan.
Okay, you and I are gonna go to normal land. Normal call where things might be normal.
We could. Do you have that other little scene loaded up? You can hide behind that for a second.
Which one?
Give a little.
This one.
Give a little thanks. No.
On this one. This one. Oh yeah. That one. Yeah, that one's good.
Yeah. Because it's a podcast, and we thank our latest patrons at the end of podcasts. And there's all of our wonderful legendary level patrons. Thank you all so very, very much. And a little shout out to Doghouse, which, by the way, you can still enter to win a laptop. We're still giving away a Doghouse laptop. You can enter until Wednesday. You have until Wednesday night, 11:59 p.m. Eastern, to enter. So
does this work?
Go to @DogHouseSystems on Twitter and find their giveaway post because that's how you enter. So U.S. and Canada giveaway. Go check it out. But yeah, hey, look at you, man, doing the.
No, not too bad.
Sorry, I threw all those curveballs at you.
Dude, it was great. I had a wonderful time watching the trailer. That was the perfect way to watch that trailer.
I love that we were like, no joke, Chad. We were talking about this morning. We're like, I feel like we should probably just watch it beforehand so we're not holding our guests hostage. And then we both were like, it was so much weird stuff went down this weekend for both of us. We're just like, I'm too tired to make a decision on this. Let's just roll with it and see how the show goes. So. Yeah, thanks for producing that live, dude.
Man, my pleasure.
Who else out there gets to have their trailer reacts with like 3 of their favorite creators on the internet?
Right? Like, that was crazy.
How lucky are we?
What an opportunity. Really, what it comes down to. How can you say no?
That's really cool.
When you're in the room with OK Mage Preach and Jesse.
Which please don't expect any of our future reacts to be like that. That was just serendipitous.
Yeah, massive crossover. Yeah, no, let's not work that hard next time.
Although now I know, Kyle. Now I know I can just save a couple reactions for when our friends are here. And
I mean, usually most things you react to are 4 minutes long and packed full of Lalafell on top of Lalafell imagery.
That's a good point. That is fair. That is very fair. But yeah, thanks for hanging, everybody. We got some messages during all this. We of course want to give thanks if you're going out of your way to drop a super or give some membership. So it's all right. Thanks for kicking us off with the super at the start of the stream. I can't even talk anymore. I'm just thinking of Jesse's simulation theory.
I thought it was great. Yeah, no, that was a really solid one.
Yeah.
But I went too far. I went too far for Chad. Which is my private joy.
My favorite moment of the stream was chat thanking me for speaking Kyle. That has got to be a top 10 moment of the year for me because I was on mute. I was laughing so damn audibly during that. But yeah, because I'm like, wait, no, I get what he's saying about it, and I was just trying to think of the words to explain it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get you were trying to be. You were trying to be efficient with your words. You didn't want to hog the spotlight from the guests. So you were just trying to get a thought out efficiently. And it left many people, including Jesse, audibly confused.
Yeah, it's like seahorsing. You all know what I mean when I say you're seahorsing.
I don't.
The Midgard-Sormer seahorsed.
Oh, you're reproducing asexually.
Well, that's not what a seahorse does. It was a question at the time. But, you use a noun as a verb to save time.
Oh. But isn't that how dragons reproduce?
No, well, they are asexual, but seahorses aren't. The males just carry the young.
The dad.
The dad does the carrying.
Babies.
Yeah. So they did not ultimately see horse, but we figured out that by nature of the noun used as a verb.
Ah, well, there you go. But Azara, I'm glad that every time I bring up Kingdom Hearts, your desire to do another playthrough grows exponentially.
I just wanted to see the Hercules scene. I have no idea what the hell happens in that game anymore. Just wanted to see Hercules.
Vernacular Ham threw 20 gifts at some point during the stream. Thank you very much. That's extremely kind. Actually, I think it was right before we went live. Good God.
Nice.
Yeah. Dark Knight of Anime said we were already off to a great start. I don't remember what that was in reference to.
Well, it could have come at any time.
Oh, I think it was when Mike was grilling me about all of my hot takes in 14, like that the cold open. Like,
oh yeah, well they cornered you there. Everyone wants to say those things. You were just the vessel.
No, here's how I feel about those types of things. Everybody wants to ask you your hot take, but no one's cool enough to receive the hot take.
Could be.
If you want my hot takes, you gotta. The only requirement is you have fun with the answer. It's okay. You don't have to agree, but if you disagree, you better have fun while you're disagreeing.
Amongst content creators,
if you just come at me mad, I'm just gonna double down.
It was just therapy amongst content creators. We want to hear your hottest take that drove chat wild, that haunted you late at night, so that we can remember our moment of doing that to our chat. It's cathartic.
Exactly. Itbrick said, FYI, hasn't done the roll. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, yeah. If we were talking about I was already told Go Setsu. Every time we brought up a character, there's a.
Yeah, there have been a couple of people that have been so frustrated that I keep asking for Hien, that many people have informed me that many characters I want to see are in the role quests.
Oh, sure.
That's not what I mean.
I want
those characters to be part of the main story again.
I know what you mean when you say that. Yeah. No, one of the questions we got for today is, hey, can you pass around the table what character you'd like to see? And I'm like, that is the most horrifying question to answer on the internet when it regards Final Fantasy 14. Because you're about to hear that they showed up in possibly like a short, a movie, a web story, a side quest, a yellow side quest, a role quest. Like, don't ever say a character should be around more, because they probably are on some distant part of the game.
But that's never what I mean when I say
exactly.
Should be
Exactly.
That's never what I mean.
Exactly.
I don't want to have to go 3 side books of side quests deep. I'm like, no, these characters are main story quality. Let's get them back in here.
And then there's always the person's like, oh man, I'm so in love with the gatherer quest lady. And you're just like, grats.
I'm sorry.
Congratulations to you. Yeah,
I'll probably get there one day, but at the top of my list, it is
I'm
not.
so happy for you. You two love birds. You have the best time ever.
Yeah. I don't know. I want to explain myself because I feel like everyone wants an explanation when I don't do a thing immediately. I'm like, well, first off, I just can't do all the things immediately. I have to pick and choose. And then I explain why I choose what I pick.
Post Dawntrail activities around here.
Post Dawntrail activities, exactly. Maybe.
As in launch, not as in like actually doing Dawntrail all first and then going back to roll quest.
I mean, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
We'll see how we feel.
Yeah, who knows what order.
The one thing I can always promise is we're going to do what we think will be fun. That's what we're going to do. Well, I haven't even played Monk yet. The straight up time, I actually do really want to play Monk. But it's become such a meme. I don't feel like I can do it offline anymore.
I would have played a long time ago offline.
Yeah, we actually signed a contract at FanFest saying we would play Monk.
And it's like, it's not going to be like overhyped because we're going to make it hype. You'll know when we're going to play Monk. It's going to be like the biggest fanfare. There's going to be parades in the streets.
Yeah, it's not going to be like Godzilla -1. It won't be overhyped.
Damn, you're dropping that here at the post show of a roundtable? Your Godzilla -1 take?
I actually thought it was a really good movie, but I cannot believe it won an Oscar for Best Visual Effects.
Man. You madman. I'm not done with it yet.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. You've seen enough visual effects to know that they're
made it to hour
passable.
15 before children called, so I didn't get a chance to finish it yet.
It's a shame. I did quite enjoy the movie.
Well, our first watch made it to 15 minutes. That was brutal. That was like doing the first 15 minutes of Godzilla -1 having to go. Oh my God, that was a rough 48 hours until we got back to it.
Yeah, but I was confused. I was like, this doesn't look that good. I was like, why did this win an Oscar?
I'll tell you on a future record. I'll tell you all about it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. We're gonna try and squirrel away some time for a proper Godzilla -1 talk, because I do think the narrative was pretty goddamn fantastic. So yeah. Let's see. -1 minus color was excellent. I could see it being better in black and white.
Some things
sure.
are. Some things are.
Aaron giving tips for Wondrous Tales. Pothy threw a super for the Roundtable of Hot Takes. Thank you.
Nice.
Tony Tone said Jordan's tier list was SS plus, S plus plus, S plus 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 plus.
That's good branding. Yeah, just ride it.
That is fantastic. That is fantastic branding. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I Googled it and it actually came up. That's actually what? Oh, no, wait. What? Oh.
What?
This is a tier list of Jordans, the shoes. I thought for a second, like, this is actually what she labeled her tier list and she published it. But no, sadly, it is a Jordan's tier list. As it, yeah, sad. I'm sad. Bummer.
I like my tropical twists.
Dawntrail. Newfound Adventure. Yeah.
Yeah, Google OK Mage, not Jordan. That is fair. That's a good point. We do tend to forget to call people by their handles. Zaniga, thanks for super earlier, said hype from the clean room. Hell yeah, shout out to the clean room, Zaniga. Let them know we say hi.
Nice.
If you're still watching. And oh yeah, Descartes. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we understand. We understand you're all called emotional vampires for a reason. We get it. Thanks for telling folks to like the stream, Yolan. Also, Iprix, thank you for taking up the mantle of Pothy to tell folks to like the stream. That was very kind of you.
Oh, yeah.
Suna said, shout out to Cristal for making my favorite content on the media tour, how the 2-die system works on the artifact gear. Ooh, I haven't watched that yet.
Oh, dude, that was the coolest thing about the media tour was they got together such a cornucopia of people that there's all kinds of content made about it and very specific too. It's really
it's
cool.
How I learned about a lot of the different content.
Yeah.
Like that also, I mean, that's just the 14 content creation sphere. Like there's just so much variety. And as someone who avoided so much 14 content for fear of spoilers as I was going through the MSQ, and I'm still going through, but pretty much almost there. Yeah, I learned about a lot of those creators like on the day. Like the only person that was we knew Quasi, we knew Jesse. Like those are the only two people that were going to be at the North American Media Tour that we knew, and they were both on the first day, so we didn't even get to see them. So it was like all, it was all just hanging out with, or like it was meeting new people. Which, yeah, I'm not as social as I thought I was because I was like nervous and I did a very bad job of talking to anybody. Yeah, we don't have a date for the Super Forum Monstrife. When it's locked in, it will be scheduled. Mirrors Super is Pictomancer a reference to Oriante's Shadowbringer's diagram? I mean, if you want to go that deep,
yeah. I mean, you can. There's umbral paints and stuff in there. Like it's very in universe.
Yeah. We did not meet Quasi, Mike, because he was not. He was the day before us. He flew out the day that we were going to the media tour. So we did not get to meet him, sadly. We got to talk to him virtually when he interviewed us for his podcast. And that was great.
That was delightful.
Hell of an interviewer. Really good questions. Cocktail talks would be endless. What are we talking about here? Oh, get along with Sly. Yeah. I watched his unmocking the Untitled cocktails. I'd love to debate him because I get fired up anytime anyone pulls vodka out because I'm just like, no. Yeah, this is where I get passionate and nerdy. I want to debate the merits or the lack thereof of vodka. It's a boring spirit. Lyra Super, the real need here is that combo actions need to be unlocked from stacking them on the same hotkey. Why that is allowed in PvP for combos but not PvE makes no sense. Accessibility, no logic, why not? I agree if it's on combos where there is essentially no chance for misplay. But like, as much as I would love to turn it on for Dark Knight, I do kind of get it because you can screw up your combo and there is a unique bonus to using number 2 of your 3 attack combo, and there's a unique bonus of using number 3 in your 3 attack combo. So if you do screw it up, there is a way. And I'm not playing at a high enough level to where I would intentionally stop it at 2, but I know there are some situations where you would do that. So, but yeah, there's the button bloat is real, y'all. There's a lot of buttons in this game. There's a lot of buttons in this game.
I do think that this is the baby step, and they're going to take more drastic steps in the future, and hopefully for the better of the game. And there's always going to be those who want others to fail, which is weird, but people like bad buttons. People like feeling better than others, skill floor, skill ceilings. Absolutely, those things can be very fun, but there are absolutely people who want the game to be hard to play for obscure reasons because it makes them feel more awesome. And I don't blame them.
I can look into that more, Crimson Knight. I was trying to speak generally to hopefully move through this conversation quicker, so I won't be going deeper at this time. Tijuana, shout out for MMO Mice. Then we got a pair of Lyriths here. Thanks for the supers, Lyrith. Previously played Final Fantasy games that are referenced in 14 absolutely enhances the experience. Childhood nostalgia does it too, just different. And then also said preaches Steiner for the win. I don't know what that means. What's a Steiner? What are we doing?
I don't know what a Stein is.
I mean, I know what a Stein is, but I'm not sure if that's what's being referenced here.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Character in FF9.
Oh, okay. I see.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Glad you liked it, Elspeth. Thanks for the super. Limco super just to say thank you, Kyle. And then Chenietta also super to thank you for producing the reaction live.
You're welcome.
Chris Majors, I'm assuming this is during Jesse's Big Cook, said if you liked President Dragon, wait till President ChatGPT.
I thought that was an interesting take. Honestly, I think that's pretty damn close because MMOs require content. You should write what you're passionate about, and doing a expansion about AI takeover would be, I have no doubt, a passionate project amongst creatives.
They've talked about how the real world is kind of tough right now, and that part of that bled into the desire to make Dawntrail feel a little bit like an escape. I would like an escape from AI. I don't want to see a single utterance of AI.
No, if you summon it forth with a face that could be punched, I think that can be cathartic. I think people would be into that. You kill God enough times. If you kill AI, would it really feel that different?
I would be fine not invoking AI. I'd be fine. That'd be okay. Okay with that. Malmuki said the cup is the holy grail in the city of Camelot. Okay, maybe. I'm really reading into the it being an hourglass and not a cup now, though.
Why not both?
Because you'd have sand in your drink. Why would you want that?
Well, how cool would that be if you ever did a tornado bottle?
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be like a drink tornado bottle where your drink is stored in the bottom and goes deeper than people think, but actually you've got more drink in there.
I really like Jesse's Cook and I want him to be right, but I'm personally more in Mike's camp. I was like, I think these are two worlds, and I think maybe there's like a past to that entire area that kind of starts with folks escaping whatever the problem was through that gate. Maybe it happened so long ago, people don't remember. It's been lost to time, or it's a secret. Like, we're going to find this secret society that's totally in the know about this shit. I don't know. I'm getting a there's a two worlds type situation thing going on here. I'm not completely on board for it's all virtual all the time. But I wouldn't be mad if that's what it ends up being, because that would be rad and they could do a lot with that. And whatever the case is, if they're coming out of Portal, then we're in full like Tron Legacy rules where they found a way to get things out of the game.
Or another reflection. I think it's going to be very steeped in their existing lore.
Yeah, and as long as Jared Leto's not in it, it'll be great.
What?
The next Tron movie's going
to... Oh, yeah, okay. I see what you did there.
Yeah. It was funny to the people who got it in chat.
Okay.
I hope. The Holy Grail symbolism hits me in the cup key, said Witch Maury. Okay, so you're not alone.
Okay.
Not alone. Kit called it the Twilight Zone. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then Tetsujin, first super chat ever, was hitting us with more 9 references, saying the emblem on the enigmatic maiden's dress is Alexandrian, also wearing Garnet's wedding gloves and head jewelry. Wouldn't be I haven't played 9, but I know enough about the other references that have been made to know that this is a thing that they have done before. So.
And now we know the technical term for what she's wearing on her hands, hanties, and they're 100% hanties.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, they're...
No, it's a doily. It's a doily for your hand.
Enjoy putting things down before I enjoy them, because it means my expectations are set, and maybe I'll be surprised. Because to me, every expansion's been a reset, and that won't change. I'm still gonna sit here and go, I don't know about this. Let's see what happens.
I'm glad you're looking forward to our cooking, Andy. I'm looking forward to yours.
Yeah, good to see you.
Yeah. I don't know what we're gonna. I guess we got a little bit of time before we scratch the surface, at least, of Dawntrail. But yeah, it is all according to our plan. You know, we're gonna dip a toe in, see what it's like, and then we're gonna F off for 2 weeks and let you all catch up.
Exactly.
And then we'll be back, and then we'll be going at our old pace, which is like do his own, probably make a video, not play while we're making the video, and then the video comes out, and then we'll do another zone, and you know how it goes.
You know it.
Which, for the folks who are like dying for us to do more extremes or maybe even dip our toe into Savage content, keep an eye on those in between weeks.
Hell yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say about that. That sounds like I'm confirming anything. We haven't talked to Llama or anything. I know some folks really want us to do a Llama Savage crossover.
Yes, there have been no crossovers planned for this particular activity.
No, not yet. But we can talk to Llama. I know Llama sounds down to die horribly with us. Dark Knight earlier supered as someone who's consumed copious amounts of anime and Endwalker patches. The Endwalker patches never bothered me too much because it felt like the equivalent of a setup arc, a story we won't feel the immediate effect of. That's, I haven't finished it yet, so I don't know yet. But that's the vibe I'm getting. But it feels like they're heading towards a conclusion, and that there could be more after it, which is how I like that. That's how 14 does it. They never just rip satisfaction away from your fingertips. It's never all about the cliffhanger. They also usually bring something to a close, but there's always something they could come back in and kind of pull from. So that's what I like. That's what I like about 14. There's a lot of things I like about 14, but that's one of them. Zero Lambda, thanks for the super earlier. If you don't like the stream, and Philly is going to call you back to the Waking Sands. I mean, it looks like a chill place.
You just wake up. Sands. Yeah, it never happened. None of it happened. You just wake up. That would be bold. That'd be badass. I would love that.
Yeah.
Solution
9. If you do like what you're seeing, please like the stream. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. If you want more grinding gear, check out our clips channel. There's a grinding gear clips and highlights channel. Good. It's a sister channel. We have a wonderful editor by the name of Well, who does all the work over there. So go check it out. Lots of highlights from the stream. If you're having trouble keeping up, you're not one of there's 3 people right now I know of off the top of my head who are rewatching everything we've ever done.
Whoa.
But if that ain't you, grinding gear, clips and highlights. It's singular. It's not plural. Everyone always says we're grinding gears. It's grinding gear because we're grinding gear for games, which is actually something we don't do in Final Fantasy all that often because we're still catching up with the MSQ, but you get the idea. I'm going too deep down the rabbit hole now. Will No ST, thank you for the super earlier. I know this isn't really appropriate, but have you 2 wonderful people reacted to Community Sings Close in the Distance yet? Just would like to see your reaction to the sweet tunes. I've watched a decent amount of, I think I've seen this one. Just personally. I had personal reasons to look up some of the music medleys in the 14 community, which is now a very long ongoing tease from me. So yeah, I've seen a good amount of them. They're very good. I wouldn't have much to say because I'm not a singer. So that's why I haven't pushed for a reaction, because I just don't have much to say other than, wow, that's impressive.
Same. John sent it to me a long time ago. Watched a little bit about it. I was like, ooh, nice. But yeah, we're not musically inclined in that regard. And I think it is extremely powerful in its moment. And that'd be my reaction.
I'm not out of focus. It's just Discord. My microphone's out of focus because I have a shallow depth of field. But this is just what Discord looks like.
It happens.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad the clean room saw it all. Hell yeah. Thanks, Aniga. Adolfgrim said, future life settling is in the past to escape another calamity. I can see it. Just because the Asians and Hylan are gone doesn't mean they stop.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's kind of where my head's going.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I would say it mildly abrases my gears, Casual Cork. I wouldn't say it full on grinds my gears. Just a mild abrasion.
What am I laughing at? What's going on?
Oh, just that people getting grinding gears name wrong really grinds Garrett's gears. I'm like, I wouldn't go that far. Say a mild abrasion. Mild abrasion. We are singular, not plural.
Oh, the great
reference to gear in games, not car gears.
That was an insane. I can't believe we were at it. We were at this for 3 hours, but at least 2.5 hours with our guests. If this reaches them for any reason, thank you so much for your time. We'll certainly be thanking them in other regards across the internet, but that was awesome getting to chill with everybody, getting to hear their thoughts leading up. We didn't even get to talk about many things because we just kind of flowed. So
yeah, that went, we show up with a mild plan. We have a very light outline for these types of things that are there in case we need a heading, but it went exactly how I thought, which was we just rode everybody's streams of consciousness, which is how I like it to go. It's fun. It's just like, what's everyone excited about? Let's just talk about it. Like, it's an excuse to all get in the same room.
Yeah.
And I feel very fortunate for them to care enough to say yes. So thanks for making the time. Spoy howdy. 3 different time zones from west coast of the U.S. to England. It's a spread.
Speaking of spread, that is my chance to show this because we're busy this week.
We are. We got a massive marathon tomorrow. We're starting at noon Eastern. And we're going until we're done with 6.5 or we lose power, whichever comes first. Yeah, Kyle, you're going to be here tomorrow, yeah?
Yep. We're going to be together.
Yep.
6.5 LAN party going down.
We didn't figure out if we're eating before. I was planning to eat before.
Well, I mean, it's noon, so we'll eat before, but then we definitely need to eat during because I will be starving at some point around hour 5. That's the planning. I can bring a sandwich. I'll bring my own food if I need to.
I go from noon to 7 most days.
You madman.
You eat like a squirrel if you had an actual meal.
I'm not gonna power that.
Kyle always just has a random assortment of snacks. I'm just like, where's your sandwich, man? That's not true. You had a really good looking sandwich the last time you ate in front of me.
Yeah, no, the sandwich happened. There's just those sides with the sandwich, those are then spattered out throughout the hungry times.
Get some chips. You gotta get your chips on, man.
Get chips on.
We did not make you a sandwich, Pothy. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry.
If you're ever in the neighborhood, Pothy, I will definitely make you a sandwich.
Yeah, no, we've heard we're not going to be going to 8. MS Curator was letting us know that. We'll be back the next day, Wednesday, for the Alliance Raid Final Wing. And then on to...
I am half expecting the Alliance Raid to take just as long, if not longer, than 6.5.
Oh, yeah.
There's just so much. There's been so much reading in the midst of the realm. Holy shit.
That monkey's going to lose it. Yeah,
There's been a lot.
And he's going to have a lot to say.
Yeah. And then 655 on Thursday night, which we hear is a little shorter. So if we finish a little earlier, maybe we can start some pre-Dawntrail cooking, Kyle.
Oh, sorry, I was catching up on chat. You made me a sandwich? Yes, I'm aware of the sandwich.
Bro,
Yes, and 6.55. Yeah, we'll be going a little late that night, but that'll be fun. That'll be fun.
Charge. Yeah.
And then we'll probably sleep or something. Actually, no, we'll probably be busy that day too. So lots going on. Lots coming up.
Yeah, that's probably where Superform.
That's probably where that's going to be
slotted in. It might. If it sounds horribly conceited to be like, we'll have too many supers, but in case we have more overflow, we'll also bring any other supers we missed to probably that Monday. I don't think we'll be sleeping that Monday. Yeah. Woo. Maybe we can sleep in and we'll stream a little later.
Woo. Oh yeah, we're going for it. We'll see y'all there.
Looking forward to it. See you tomorrow for our 6-5 marathon stream.
Bye, everybody.